are low. And by the way, you guys each have, you know, a leaf sample, a bark sample. There's 3 different types of trees. You've seen 3 different types of leaves. You've seen a few flowers, and these are just clippings that you're getting from the edges.
I really want to get some information.
So here's what I can do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to wild shape into a squirrel.
Okay.
And it will climb one of the taller
so
trees.
well last time.
Well, actually, I have a question. Are you doing this before or after going up the beach area? You're saying
After
We've already said we've gone up.
Oh, wait, stop right there. Okay. So you guys are spending some time on the beach area.
Yeah.
That's fine. So I'm going to do this event at 10 miles, all right?
Okay.
So here's the beach line, right? You guys are all going along, right? And every single one of you, I want a perception check, and I'll set your DC.
I'm riding in the draft.
I have a
I'm directing
22
the draft
passive.
force.
Good luck.
Oh, what are we doing?
Well, I'm in the
yeah.
cherry, which means I'm not going to be much use if we have to fight them. Let's see.
Lower
said-
than my passive.
You said perception?
Yeah.
5.
Tell me when. Okay, good,
Well,
good.
18, 20, 24.
25.
Anybody else 25?
Yeah.
You're the only one that sees it. You hear, right? And, yeah, so you're the first one to hear it, and you look around, and you see... Sorry. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. So, actually, line them up. I want your marching order, please.
I'm with the draft horse.
And right here. Yeah, go ahead. Show me your... I really need to see your marching order. It's really
in front of me or
critical.
behind me?
I might as well be in front or next
Well,
to
probably.
you.
Well, it's a wide beach. We could.
Yeah, it's wide beach.
Side by
We'd
side.
probably be side by
Flying
side.
V.
Yeah.
Here, hold on.
I'd
just wanna see
be in
the
my.
time.
I'd be
We're
standing
good,
in my
thank you.
chariot. Yeah. Basically,
I don't know. Where do you want Eliath? I'll put him in the back with you guys.
I have to have him bring up the rear guard.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. And then you're putting him in rear?
Yeah.
All right. And actually,
I do
right
stop
there.
it.
That is Ryan. And,
No, this is Ryan.
oh, perfect. Pull mine out. Sorry. And he's at the back.
haven't stopped
Perfect.
it as of
Okay.
yet, though.
And where are you? Where's he?
I'm in the
Right
middle
next
of
to
it,
him.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. All right. Anybody know what this is?
Yep.
Snatch. Right? You are the only person who has the chance to react to it. What do you do?
Thorn whip.
Thorn whip. Okay. Tell me what that is.
What did it just say?
By the way, that was cool.
Ryan.
Good reaction.
So I see it swoop down
like a
and
wizard.
grab
That's good.
and grab the paladin. And so what I do is let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna cast Thorn Whip, or yeah, I'll cast Thorn Whip, and I guess it's technically it's an attack that has a pull to it, so I have to make an attack roll. And I'm just trying to think whether I should attack the Griffin or if I should attack Ryan. So I will use it actually on the paladin. And I rolled a natural 1, so I'm going to take that inspiration you'd given me earlier. And I'm going to re-roll that, so it's not a natural 1. Instead, it is a... what's that? So... Oh, wait a minute, we use this too, right? So that's a 6, 9, a 15 to try and hit the paladin.
All right. So, and if it hits him, what will it do? It will actually put a vine between you and him?
So Thorn Whip, what it actually does is a cantrip. It's a reach of 30 feet. It does damage, but then it pulls 10 feet.
Okay. Here's the problem. You guys are on the beach. So where are you going to get it? So actually, you would have to get it from... So the question is,
Where
are
do you
you
tether
within
it?
30 feet of the only place where you're going to get... So you have to pull it up from nature, right?
No, it's from my hand.
Oh, okay. So you're actually... You can generate a vine from your hand.
Yeah.
You're good. You're fine. Okay. So actually, at that point... Ryan is there, so you are trying to grab him, right?
Yeah, and pull him back out of the creature's grasp.
Okay, all right. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, so and what was your roll?
15.
15. All right. So this is the Griffin. He's going to use his strength to pull him away. All right.
Okay, so would that be an opposed athletics?
Actually, yeah, but the Griffin's not going to have athletics. So your roll of 15 is going to be your...
Okay.
If he exceeds that.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? All right. So, yeah. So he's going to roll this. He's getting a plus D6. Does anybody know why yet?
Is Ryan's not here?
No. Go ahead. Anybody know why?
Proficiency?
No. You guys are going to get it. You'll start to get it. Okay. And so he gets a +4. He fails. All right. So at that point he turns around, and he turns around, and you have at this point the Ryan,
Griffin's a bard,
right? and the Griffin's like sinks his claws right into Ryan, and at that point he's gonna take his claw attack.
Nice. And let's see how much damage I did to Ryan too.
Yes.
Drawn and quartered. Griffin and Druid.
Yeah. What is your hit points?
107.
107. Okay. All right.
Why, is he attacking me?
No.
Oh, you're just gauging for Ryan?
I'm putting him at 87.
Okay. So
Because he's Paladin Warlock, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to be weaker than you.
Yeah, because I'm all D10s.
So I do 7 points of damage.
All right. That's good. Okay.
You roll double ones?
I did.
You just always want to pay Ryan back for that.
Oh man, that's the worst. It's only 6 more points. All right. So so you guys see you see blood sprout from his shoulders as the Griffin like just latches down, right? And so the Griffin turns around and like just and you guys feel like this big whoosh as he starts to kick his
And obviously, as I lash out, I scream from above.
Yeah. Okay. And initiative.
Oops.
Yes! A 9. Metal die.
9.
4 again!
19. My modifier was bigger than your roll.
Did you say 19?
Yes.
Oh, my modifier is negative, so.
I think we're about to get some more samples.
It's a feather.
Yeah, we're doing this.
What do you got?
4.
4.
Anything revolving
What do you got?
around death is not my forte.
Not your thing.
And Lumph.
Is that one that gives you
A 9.
+5 to initiative?
Actually, you're at the top of the round.
Yes, there is,
So
and that's how I
you're
have the
at-
19.
So you just had your action.
Alertness.
Alert.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
one I'm taking next.
I have that feat for that reason.
And so he's at 20. Belgar, you're next.
So, is he on the? Is he on the ground?
Oh, yeah. So I'll explain what happened.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to use
This
that
thing
ball.
is now, what's the
Yeah,
length
because-
of that? Is 30 feet, right?
Yeah.
He's taken them to 30 feet. So at this point, Ryan is 30 feet in the air. He has a vine on his legs, and he has a griffin attached to his shoulders. Oh, and by the way, now clearly there's going to be a good chance of any attack that you hit that you do is going to have a good chance of hitting Ryan.
Sometimes you just
Fell
gotta take the
Chainer.
chance.
So he's
absolutely.
So he's holding Ryan. in
Dungeons
his
and
claws.
Dragons, not Dungeons and Doilies. Yeah. Go ahead.
So he's 30 feet in the air.
Yep. Chuck your axe at him.
I was thinking about casting Shatter on his claws.
Well, it's a radius.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
So it
gonna
was
hit
Shatter
everything in
Ryan.
that
That's right. That's an area effect, isn't it?
You have jump.
I don't know. I can't jump 30 feet though.
No, that's why I asked if you have jump, the spell.
No, I don't.
What's your action?
So I'm going to. I'm in my chariot. Turn around, bow, arrow, draw, and shoot the griffin.
All right, gotcha. Okay, if you miss but you're within 4, you're gonna hit Ryan.
Okay, that's a risk I'm willing to take.
All right. Okay. All right. Good luck.
So this is a dex-based attack, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be great.
Dex plus proficiency bonus.
Okay.
Die.
Dex plus die 8. Ooh, that's a
I can't wait till Ryan watches this video. I
10.
got something for him.
All right.
So I wasn't even in the ballpark.
No. Yeah, that is a miss. And that was. And next is Arbram.
Okay.
Wait.
Ryan's in plate mail, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to select his. Where's this Griffin holding him?
From the shoulders.
Okay, I'm going to select his shoulder plates and cast heat metal.
Ooh, nice.
I was waiting for that.
Why didn't I think of that, Nate?
So saw that coming.
The creature holding or wearing the object takes damage from it.
Oh, that says or, so that means you can choose, right?
Holding or wearing. Oh yeah, I choose holding. The creature must. This is the important part of this. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it is possible. If it doesn't drop the object, it
Who's
is
planning
disadvantage
on
attack.
stopping Ryan from cratering down?
I got that
Oh.
covered.
So how much damage do you do?
Does 2d8 fire
2d8 fire.
to Ryan and to the.
Roll it up.
Okay. This is to Ryan.
Counts for both my
Oh.
physical and my range. Right?
What?
11.
Attack.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
oh, a mighty
Shot him
5.
second
But they
time?
need. But
Alright.
the Griffin still needs to make a Constitution save.
Chances of me.
Wouldn't you
hitting
just
him
use the
are-
same damage because it's the same source of heat?
Oh, yeah, I think. it
Yeah,
is.
sure. Okay. Then the first one, 11 damage to them.
11 both. Okay, 15.
And the Griffin needs to make a con save, or it must drop the object if it can.
Quick, someone lashes claws to the armor.
All right, so I'm just giving the Griffin his damage.
Okay.
1 second. All right, okay, and then yeah, all right, and then he is going to come down to 65.
Oh, I could have cast this as a higher level spell slot.
Kill Elioth.
Okay.
Fun little
All
source
right,
of abilities.
and Elioth is on this side, and the Griffin's on this side. Is for damage. I was saying that to me.
Yeah.
All right,
DC
and then
15 con
DC
save.
15. All right, con save. He's got a +2, but he gets his D6. All right. Oh, he lets him go.
All right.
All right.
Featherfall.
Featherfall. Nice.
So which one is Elioth? There's some of this one.
Elioth is right here, and it's cool. So he lets him go, and he goes, he just. Now you guys can take a couple more shots if you want. I'll give one attack to everybody in case you want to drop it before it. And if you can't drop it with each getting one attack, he's gone.
I see no reason to shoot at it a second time. If it dropped Elioth, right?
Right, it is
Yeah, if
dropping.
it dropped Elioth,
Nice move.
I'm
with
okay with
Featherfall.
letting it go.
Yeah.
Is there any chance that with the the scuffle, them dropping feathers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Then it may go.
Yeah.
If
Odds
not, I
he
was going to
drops a
thunder
feather.
wave it down.
He does. 3 feathers fall down.
So,
Alright.
is anyone keeping a collection of what we've
I'm
gathered?
keeping-
Actually, it's
collection
all
of
in
what I
the.
gathered.
Yeah.
I've got some stuff. So I wrote down leaf samples.
And by the way, it's all in the
3
cart
feathers.
at this point. Okay, all your
You
or
know
are you
that
keeping
cart's
it
getting
personally on
stolen.
yourself?
I'm going to toss it in his hole.
All right, okay.
My
So the
pile?
Griffin fall
It's kind of
goes
personal,
away.
ain't it?
He's got this magical, mythical hole. We're
That he,
gonna keep-
You're not
that he
making
folds
this
them and
sound
puts in
any
his
better.
pocket.
We're gonna,
Alright.
yeah, but the likelihood of losing him is a lot lower than the likelihood of losing the cart and having to
so
go
3
over.
feathers.
Have you even played this game before?
Yeah, you're a newbie, right?
And you guys get a total of 18 miles this day.
All right.
And so you go
So-
18 miles,
Well,
and
we
all
wanted
you
to,
see
we
is
wanted
the
to,
same
we
thing.
wanted to scurry up the tree and
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, after the
yeah.
encounter.
And
Oh, I
actually,
ended the heat metal, by the way.
okay, that happened at so you've only got 12 miles, okay? So you're going to go up the scroll form, right? So you go right up the tree, and you want to look, correct? That is your entire purpose.
Yep,
All right.
Pick the tallest tree I see.
And I'm on
Alright.
watch for griffins.
And go ahead and give me
Hawks at this moment.
give me a perception.
Oh, yeah, for you. There are many dangers, even little hawks.
And
What a waste.
standard DC 15. What do you got?
I got a. Wait a minute, I got proficiency.
Oh,
die.
you have yeah.
I mean, my passive is 22, but if I got to roll,
but
it's actually way
for
worse.
being up in the tree, you get advantage. If you
Okay.
yeah.
So, well, that was slightly better. That's a 9. That's a 12.
Okay.
So can you just use the 22?
Oh, your passive? Yeah.
Yeah, my passive
absolutely.
was 22.
But yeah, that's really high. All right, here's what you see. You see that there is a path. If you go 2 miles through the forest, you can see that there's clearly a long blank space of trees where it looks like there would be a path below it.
Uh-huh.
And also, you hear keening.
Can I make some kind of check to see if I recognize? I have knowledge nature.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a wolf. It's absolutely a wolf.
Okay.
All right. What do you want to do with that knowledge?
I will scurry down the tree.
And tell them, of course, yeah.
Tell
What do
them.
you guys- what do you guys
Tell
do?
them good news. There's a path into the forest. We can make inroads.
See, I knew from above would garner results.
Let us move forward.
Oh, and beware of the wolves.
Let us stay on the beach.
Wolves.
Well,
Did it sound like they were burdened by halflings?
I'd rather
You
deal
just
with
heard
wolves than those reptilian beasts.
All right, so you guys are going to go. Are you going to try to go through the forest
No.
to the path? Is that your intention, or do you wish to travel through the forest?
We're gonna go to the path.
Nope.
All right, got it.
What?
Okay.
Nope.
No. Oh, you do not wish to go in.
Nope, nope.
Well, how are we going to accomplish anything if we don't go in? We can't.
We have
do
fully explored the beach.
We have seen the beach that they could have seen from the boat.
I would like to try to persuade him to go.
So, I remember my visions of the Grey riding
Yes.
wolf riding halflings.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I swear I told somebody about that.
Absolutely.
But anyway, wolves could mean that there are the halfling riders, and they seem to patrol the forest.
Do I believe him?
Yeah, absolutely.
I start doing this. Halflings?
Do you have another alternative?
Yes, this
Perhaps
lovely
we can-
stretch of beach.
Perhaps we can make contact with these halflings.
Where do you intend to find a coin on this beach?
The halflings may have a coin and a weapon.
In the forest. I say we go in the forest.
All right.
Lund speaks truth.
If only I were a little more clericy and could order.
Perhaps we could trade with the halflings.
That's a good persuasion. But I'll let you make your decision before you need to be persuaded.
I'm pretty decent at talking to people. Maybe not as good as some warforges out there.
Well, your death's not beyond my head. I will join you. Let us go.
All right. Actually,
But
do
he
you have
agrees. I
Actually,
want
who
to
does
press-
not have inspiration at the table?
I've used it.
All right. Oh, so you.
So
I
as
got
soon
you.
as he agrees, I want to use prestidigitation and have like little sparklers come up out of my hands and go, yay, finally, let's go. And then we can go.
That's good. Actually, I am good. What did I do for double inspiration? Do we remember?
Just allowed another use, so you can use it twice.
Yeah, I still think that's a little broken. I'm going to stick with
Like
the regular rule.
you can't use it.
I would give
know.
you inspiration if I could. That was well played. I
Okay.
agree. Yeah, because you definitely didn't. And to tell the truth, you're not wrong. This is a dangerous, dangerous place. All
Are
right.
you giving me inspiration or not?
I am. Well, no, you already
I already
have it,
have
right?
it, yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, you
You
already.
to give me
Give it to
inspiration
Dave
for having
and I get
sparkling
one.
fingers.
Yeah, I hear you. All right. So at that point, you guys break through into the forest, and actually, this time when you get up there, you don't get the sense of foreboding you did before. You walk up on. I'm guessing you guys all have your eyes trained all over, and you're being very careful to watch. And at this point, Ryan says, "You know what? I'll scout over here to the left," and he breaks off a bit. All right. So he's always going to be a little behind you guys.
Yeah.
He's doing some scouting. All right. Darn it! I really wanted to take with that Griffin. Good job, guys. All right. All right. So so he breaks off from you guys a
Why
bit.
don't you let Ruth do the scouting?
And at that point, and just out of character, or I'm sorry, as GM, the reason why I'm going to take him off is just so that you guys have more attack time, and
It's fine.
Yeah, I don't see the point in keeping him. And so
I'm
usually,
just being
so
obstinate.
and I will also say this: anything. So he is an available NPC to any and all of you. So like you're like. Somebody needs to muck out the mud out of the horses. He will do that. So, in all seriousness, if you have something you need, or even if you want to have him run out and like you're saying, "Oh, I need X, Y, I need somebody on the other side to get
Helping.
a sneak attack."
Yeah.
You can try to use him for flanking, or you can use him for any test
We're not
he would
that kind of
logically
party.
help you. But he's always 100 feet behind, and he arrives just when the only
We don't
because
have a
I would
road.
rather
Can I-
I
Can
just
I
want to
use
give
them for
space to you
piggyback
guys.
rides?
I make bright yellow paint and coat him in it.
Right.
And you're my distraction buddy.
And of course, he takes extra watch and all that stuff. So yeah, all right.
We'll
So
trade
you
him to
guys,
the halflings for
treat
a
him like a
coin and
minion.
dagger.
so the one thing that you guys do is when you get up there, you realize that Aesion is gorgeous. It has many different flowers. it has many different types of flowers. It has the grass is extremely lush. All of the plants are hardy, and one of the things you could see is there's edible fruit everywhere and lots of different types, right? And actually, so you guys are going through, and the first thing you do is well, actually, that's a great point. All right, hold on, I gotta check here.
Taking plenty of notes on all this stuff.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So how are we determining?
Oh wait, so
what
it
is
is.
actually edible and what's not?
Does anyone here have survival?
I do.
I
Okay,
believe
great.
I do.
Well, not only do I have survival, I'm an outlander, so I can also.
So actually, so one of the things that everybody's bringing, as you guys are walking, they're bringing you fruits, and you can tell what's poisonous and what's not. So by the time you're through that 2 foot, you have 3 edible plants, and you have 1 poisonous plant.
Okay.
All right, and so you're and so once you take a cut and you pass that over. Does anybody want to eat one of the edible ones?
Yeah, I'll take one.
All right, so you actually you take a bite in, and it's just like a pomegranate. So it has lots of these small little seeds, but the whole fruit is blue, and it is absolutely delicious. And juice comes down your face, and you're like, and actually, it's almost the exact opposite of the nighttime. It seems like there's sun is starting to come through some of the trees. There's a light breeze, and you've never seen a land more beautiful. And there's lots of edible. You can see that actually, this land would be wonderfully beneficial to almost anyone around. It almost like it would encourage.
It looks perfect for cat people.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be very easy to harvest fruit off of these trees, and you can even see that there's you can even get you even get a sense that there's lots of different types of growing flowers which might have medicinal purposes or anything like. So it's a rich, vibrant forest area. Okay.
Would I be able to make a medicine check, or does that only apply to actually applying medicine?
A medicine check, or is it only from applying?
The medicine
You're talking
skill.
about herbalism.
Oh yeah, so you want to actually you can make a medicine check, absolutely. Standard DC 15. Go right ahead.
Oh, herbalism kits used to harvest that stuff, which I have.
Oh yeah, you're way over, right? So actually, one of the you find good berries. You find essentially they don't look like good berries. They're actually white. They're white flowers, and these are not oboolus flowers, by the way, or actually they're oboolus apples. But you find these white flowers that have tips of green at the very edges of these 5 flowers, and if you consume one of them, you get 1 hit point.
So they're basically.
But it's a max of 10 per day.
Okay, so it's actually like a naturally growing good berry.
Exactly.
So can I gauge does it you just have to pick it and eat it right then, or do they last?
No, actually, so that's a good point. The moment you would have to pick it right out off the so it would only work naturally.
All right, well I'll have to keep my eye out in case we actually are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, actually, isn't
oh, and even more than this,
actually...
if somebody were to fall right now and you were to put it in their mouth, it would revive them. So if they're close, but if you pick them,
I'll give a handful to Eliot since he's actually been in here.
Oh, that's true. He goes, oh, he's still like, it still hurts.
Well, I forgot.
Thank you for saving my life, nonetheless.
He has his own healing spells and lay on hands as well. So,
but nonetheless, it's 10 points for free. And so you guys go through, and you finally get to the road, right? And when you reach the road, you see the following. And actually, I'm sorry, it's not a road, it's a path. So it is a beaten path. It's actually dirt, right? And so if it were really rainy, it would clearly get muddy. But it is a beaten path that has been walked many times. And at that point, you see the following. All right.
I cast comprehend languages.
What's that?
I cast comprehend languages.
Okay.
I would have done that before we got to the path, because I'm like...
That'll work, yeah.
I know who we're going to meet on this path. I just know it.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of trudging through the woods here, there's no logical reason that I'd be inside a chariot. I'd probably be walking next to my horse, right? So...
You gotta be in that chariot so you can be like, whoosh, and then ready to mow some people down. If you
All right.
What you see... into the tree. Hey, if we go to the path's wide enough, I can always hop in the chariot.
This is true.
Right now, I'm in the woods, not in the chariot.
All right, and the path kind of winds right through here.
Is that WYSIWYG?
Yeah, what's that?
Is that WYSIWYG?
Yeah, this is WYSIWYG. The only thing that's not WYSIWYG, and you know what? I'll mark it right now. is this is the path, right? That you're seeing these guys are just a little bit off the path. It's clear that they've been walking in the forest, and then the path is coming right from where you guys are. Okay, and you see these two
This is clearly
talking.
Elven.
Yes, and they are WYSIWYG.
sages.
They're exactly what you see, right? The only thing though is, in this, the only thing is you also see next to the old, so there's an old dwarf, okay, and there's a young, what looks like an elven lady speaking to him, and she's got a big smile on her face, and and so she says, well, so she says, she says, you have to give me more memoriams than that. Come on, this is a firestone that will burn for 3 nights easily. And he goes, I've seen these firestones. He says, this is a generous offer. 7 memoriams is more than enough for this firestone. And so the two of them are haggling over a firestone that she is holding.
What, are they speaking common?
They are speaking common. Yeah, absolutely. And so and everybody gets a perception check.
Woo! Wow.
Hold on.
Jesus Christ. Not being proficient in perception is really...
Oh, yours it's an 8.
That's taking forever to say. Sorry, I'm good. All right, good. All right.
20.
God, you nailed it.
15.
Anybody out of 20?
24. My passive is 22 anyway, but...
Jeez.
Although I get tired
I rolled a 19 on the die.
All
So.
right, so since you've seen a whole bunch of stuff, you're gonna get it. All right. So actually, you do notice this, but I'm gonna tell it to him, and so you're aware. You could take action on it. Both of you realize that this lady right here, who's speaking to him, one, she's beautiful. She's very beautiful. She is not an elf. She appears to be an elf, but she is not an elf, and there are clothes under her clothes. That's what you know.
So she's in disguise.
That's a good way of saying it. All right. So at this point, I need
like beyond clothes. Like, do I notice is there like a line on her ear or something that shows she's using like false tips? You know, is that what I'm?
Great question. Yeah. So actually, she does. She does have false tips on her ears, and her clothes are like they're very light, and you could tell that she has her gear, the stuff that she uses to actually move, underneath her. So she is definitely not an elf, and but she is very slim and tall. Okay, naturally, and actually, one of the things that you noticed is. You almost never say this, but she's more beautiful than many elves you've seen, which is a weird thing to say.
I find it odd that they're having this transaction on the side of the path.
Right, it is odd. You're absolutely right. And so...
so I call out an elven, good lady, do you need a hand? Is everything okay?
And I'm going to look down the other side of the path. Be like, this is not the place to do commerce. So I'm like...
Clearly, you don't have any portable holes.
Yeah,
right.
there's no shop.
I will actually, say in Dwarven, to get his attention, hail and well met.
Ah, okay.
So
All right.
Next time, my
I'm
friend.
going to just casually point in her direction and cast True Strike, cantrip, which gives me advantage on my next attack within this round, just in case, because everything else in the freaking world has attacked us. So I'm going to assume that they're going to attack us and be prepared.
You're so cynical.
Just saying.
Does it target her?
I have to point at her. It targets her. So if I attack her within the next round, I would get advantage on that first attack roll.
Are you trying to hide it?
Oh, I'm just going to.
All right. Well, actually,
He's like,
Hey,
You know
I
what?
see her.
you're going to have to try to hide that. All right.
Okay.
And that is going to be a
Stealth roll.
Yeah, so that's actually going to be a stealth roll. However,
So how does one make a stealth roll?
these two have given you
Advantage.
2 distractions. You get advantage,
Okay.
and because they've engaged both of them in their native tongue.
Oh,
Not
great.
actually the native tongue for one of them.
Unbelievable. All right, you want to
And actually, I'm going to set your DC. Good luck.
Yeah, I'm going to need
I
it.
don't know whether how dwarven this dwarf is, but my armor is dwarven plate.
This dwarf
so-
is dwarven.
So if
12?
12. That is with advantage, right?
Well, then this other one
yeah.
would be 8, so 12.
No, you gotta need a 15. Now, inspiration. The great thing about inspiration is somebody can give him it.
I have it.
No, that's true. You may want to.
No,
You failed.
I'm going to let it go. All
All right, yeah.
all I'm doing is all she's gonna see is me pointing.
All right.
I'm gonna go.
Okay. Anybody else going to give him inspiration to try, or ask him to roll again with inspiration? No. Right. Okay. All right. So immediately.
There's 6 of us just came barreling out of the woods.
So
and the
immediately.
worst that happened is I pointed.
Sorry. One more. Every. Crap. You know what? We're going to back it up. We're going to back it up because if I do this, that won't be fair. Everybody make perception.
That's not fair, Scott.
Yeah.
Perception.
Hold on.
It's bias.
So is this
One second,
countering
one
the
second.
perception that we
Yeah. Good.
made
Okay.
before?
Let
20.
me. All right. Go ahead.
17.
And so you get to use your passive, even if you fail, right?
I don't really. It's kind of weird because I actually have a better passive score a lot of times.
Than you normally get.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna make you roll for this one.
20.
All right. You got a 20?
I got a 20.
You got it. Anybody else 20?
17.
You're the only one that knows this. You see way too many birds and big ones, not finches. There are at least 100 birds in the trees around you guys. Do you warn anybody as you walk in? I'll allow you to warn everybody.
I nudged the paladin and do one of these.
Yeah. Okay. And so you guys, all of you guys, look up, and there's this.
And as I do that, they're all in like the same area.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They're all
are they
in the
giving that
trees
same
around.
feel as the other ones?
No, totally different. They're much larger.
But no,
Yeah.
I mean not the way
No,
they look.
They're not
but
looking. They're
They
not
look
doing
like
what
natural
the.
bird.
They look. It looks something. Actually, everybody roll an insight.
Oh, thankful that I got that.
What that one I don't have.
Ooh, not bad. 20.
9.
15.
No. Is your last shot?
14.
Nope. Too very hard. Sorry. Okay, that's all you know. All right, now knowing that there's this now they're different. They're not all sterling. They're looking in different areas. They don't give you the same sense as the finches. It's not the same thing at all.
Okay.
There's just an unnaturally amount of them. Now here's the next question: does that change anybody's actions on what they would have done?
Well, you know what? Since I failed my insight, I think they're probably controlled like the other ones were.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna lob the fireball at the biggest concentration of them.
Of the birds?
Yeah.
Wow.
Come on, no.
All right. Okay. All right. So you get your true strike off.
I have
right?
my own theory.
Okay, so
I have the
I've
theory
got
that
her
there's
on
a
true strike
presence
just
that's
for
controlling
this
the
turn.
animals.
My first attack this turn.
And that's
All
why
right.
the Triceratops were attacking
So
us
basically,
using
they had a
tactics.
whole bunch of
Funny,
story
he doesn't
elements
like
and
fish.
all kinds of stuff.
And we're gonna light it on
right,
fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right. So
Kill a couple
immediately.
And we'll get some local coin.
Right.
Well, wait.
So.
Isn't it, like, aren't they in the trees? Like, these are like 100-foot trees, right?
Oh yeah.
No,
But-
they're on the ground.
They're on
to
the
tell
ground
truth,
around these people.
So you're using Fireball, correct?
Yeah.
All right. You can roll 2. There's 100 of them, just like I said. You can roll 2d20, and that's how many you take out. Good
Okay.
luck. All right. All right. Tell me how many you take out.
19.
All right. So you just got rid of about 20% of them. All right. So 19 birds are down. All right. And at that point,
Going to be very bad.
immediately, the two of them, like the dwarf is like, right. She doesn't bat an eye. Right. She just shifts. Right. And her clothes immediately like just kind of fall off like the the sham they are. She flashes out these two. She is completely in white leather, right? She's got white leather boots on. She's slim as a rail. She's completely sleeveless, and her nails are completely white. And she pulls out these 2 white daggers and starts hauling straight toward you guys. And by the way, if you've ever saw one in your life, she's a straight up rogue, right? And she's hauling right toward you dudes. All right, and initiative.
Oh
Did
my
the dwarf bat an eye? Like,
Oh, he's terrified. He's clear. He's like,
you roll,
what's
one?
going on?
A 1 would have been better.
I rolled a 1!
This is the exact same initiative for 3 combats in a freaking row.
I rolled a natural 1. Yes!
I have a 12.
So does that mean
I
like
had a 12 as well.
Is that going to change anybody's actions? Sure. I'm
There's-
going to start the fight.
There's belts of strength.
That's what it does.
There's headbands of intellect. Is there a magic item that just raises your dex?
Yeah, there's a
Alright.
book. You
Yeah,
can
it's
read.
called Be Better.
Get better, bitch.
That's rough. That is rough. Ah, there we go. Okay.
Boots.
Right.
I mean, there's gotta be boots or something, right?
The boots are stealthy or speedy or.
All right.
Yeah, the boots
All
are
right.
speed. Don't they add to your decks? Or
Barbara,
just your
what do you
moving
got?
Distance?
A 12.
So I call out. Travelers, I bear you no ill will.
I just wanted to
Oh, you guys are beyond this. She's clearly coming to kill all of you.
trying to light the forest on fire.
You can see it in her eyes. She's like, I would enjoy cutting every one of your throats.
Wow. So she looks very
She is
crazy.
ready for this. Actually, not crazy. Like you've seen it. You've had that same smile on your face. Like, oh, finally, the crap of the day is gone, and we can just kill people. Right?
This just transpires. I just want to look at him. And be like,
okay,
what did
Ed.
you do that for?
What do you got?
bird,
what do you got?
man.
I rolled a
The
natural
birds.
1.
Aren't you
Ooh,
glad
so
that
what is your
you
nit?
did the true strike?
6.
6.
What's it? Yeah, I'm really glad that I rolled
and
the
you know
true
what?
strike.
I am
But
going to put you.
And you pointed at the right person.
I'm going to put you behind Ted.
she seemed more dangerous
All
to
right.
me.
And Elioth is 200 feet back. Of
course he
All right, Ed.
Hey guys,
Luce,
this
what do you got?
thing over
Luce,
here?
what do you got?
Hey,
12.
did someone start a fire?
And what do you got?
I got a 12.
I don't think we're going to beat the rogue on initiative.
Oh, I got this.
Being that she's
he-
like
he
shot
actually
out
says
of
your
an
natural
arrow,
one
but like
goes
a
after
sling,
me.
basically.
All right.
Oh, it should go absolutely last.
She's
really
like
should
fastball
Be all of
special.
you.
Oh, I'm
I'm not surprised.
amazed.
All right.
Her
And
modifier
for
is probably better than a
movement,
12.
but she's only got 30 feet of movement. Can she make it? All right. 5.
If she's a rogue, she can use a bonus action to dash.
30.
Unless
Yeah,
she's
she's
first
got
level.
it. All right.
Well,
She
I'm glad that I...
there, you-
So
She's going
she
to cut off
reaches
your
you
lion's
first.
head
I
with
swear, you
daggers.
kill my mount, I will punish you.
All right.
To the end
No,
of
no,
days.
she's not that evil.
Yeah.
All right, so she goes right for you, right? So she flashes forward, right? And at that point, she what is your race?
My race, human.
All right, let's do it.
Oh,
all right,
she's ranger
so
too. Favorite enemy, human.
all right, she has got a 19.
Nope.
All right, and
Race is your guy?
Human.
no, and she misses with the second one. So she comes right up now. What is your armor?
Dwarven plate.
Right. So actually, she comes right in and just slams right into you with both of her daggers. They bark off to the side, and she's just standing right in front of you. All right, and that is her action. And on her action, all her birds go. Right. So every single one of them takes a circle around you, unless they can't. All right, so you got to look at what's around you, and they're going to take every single available space around you, and they will attack with all those available spaces. So the people who are next to you are blocking the spaces they can take for you. You see what I'm saying?
Can for ease and for plot and whatever else.
Oh no. Actually, they just do D4.
Okay, no,
each.
I want to.
They're going to hit. So it's a complete swarm. Each one of them will hit you for D4 in every available space.
Well, what I'm asking is, do we want to remove my retainers, or do you want to kill them?
Oh no. Actually, so one.
He's like, I
So,
absolutely want to kill that.
So let's do this. All right. So one. So this guy right here, he's going to take 7 times 2d4.
I don't.
Or times d4.
I don't know whether there's stats for the retainers. If they're just commoners, then they're just going to die. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Hey, you can get new ones.
Hold on.
What about the horses? What kind of hit
Oh,
points would a horse
Well, I'll
have?
tell you how. And actually, I'm going to deliver.
The commoners.
Oh,
are
I
just
see
gonna
what
die,
you're
is
saying.
I'm
How many hit points do they have?
I have no idea. There's.
Oh, I
there's
see
no-
what you're saying.
There's
I
no
got you.
stats for the retainers.
No, there's
you know.
absolutely stats. So it's right in the monster manual.
You're gonna kill my horse, and you're really pissed off about that.
Commoner. Dude, they're good. They got 4 hit points each.
Oh yeah, and they are dead.
And they are dead.
Yeah.
Nice.
So everyone of
Don't
them
worry,
dies.
they're going to come back as
How about,
zombies.
how about a war horse or a draft horse? What would they have? I was expecting it to be in the mount section, but it's not.
All right.
Because
And
we're gonna have a lot of crap to carry.
Yeah, there's an animal section in the back.
Yeah. Oh, like a second girl.
all right. And
I don't have
okay,
the
and then
monsters
it's going to be.
manual.
Oh, and then you have her next to you, so that blocks off 1. So you're only going to take 7, and that's going to be.
Will the guys be riding the cart with me, or are we just all walking through the woods?
You're there. You should be on there right now.
Yeah.
What's your question though?
The
guy-
Did
you
we
mean-
walk out of the woods, or are we?
Oh, yeah,
are we
you're all
bringing-
there.
Are we
Everybody
bringing
can
the
see.
cart? I mean, are we bringing the cart?
The cart's right there with you.
Okay.
Right there.
I like riding the cart.
Riding horse.
That's 11.
So with the other guy
Riding horse
riding
has
in the cart with me?
13.
The warhorse has 19.
11. Hold on one second. 14. All right. So 14 points from the birds. They just descend down in a swarm.
So is it 14 damage to everything?
Yeah, to you. To you. That's the
Okay.
damage you take.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, now, what was your point about the cart? Do you think that'll block damage?
I
or?
would think that it would be, because we're not like in combat ready stance, like I'm on the cart, I would think the retainers would not walk as much.
Oh, and you're saying his retainers might have been on the
nightly
cart?
duties. I mean, it's like a waiter, or like a butler. When the butler is like kicking it back, he's not like, yeah, I'm walking in the woods with my knight ready. I would just think they would all be hanging out on the cart, waiting to serve him when he needs it, or waiting to do something when he needs it.
The problem is he put him right up in combat.
Oh.
Yeah, he had.
He
Well,
moved.
I
the
moved them.
minions.
Just put
Oh,
everybody in the
okay.
Oh, I wasn't there. Just put everybody in the woods.
yeah,
Remember,
I'll
we
allow
put
that.
woods.
Do you yell out for them to run?
Well, yeah. I mean, if there's another presence, I would have them back off until we figure out what's going on here.
Well, talking is free. You want to tell them to run?
Absolutely.
All right, they run for their lives.
Oh, that's
All right,
bullshit.
and
They're
actually-
blocking damage
and
from me.
actually, yeah. All right, so they run. That's good. That's fair. They run for their lives. You took 14.
Look, I sacrificed the
and
holy
I'm
paladin.
actually and I'm going to do the same.
to get what I wanted.
So
I'll sacrifice
that's
a couple
14
for
damage
tanners.
all the way around. Go right ahead.
Sacrifice the whole-
So
Including
each,
to the horses.
Oh yeah.
So each one of you
Well, in
guys.
the hell for my soul,
so
man.
the birds are all
all
100,
totally
actually
different
all
characters.
81 swarm down
Okay.
and attack you.
Yeah,
So
with the
that's-
same player.
That's going to kill
Same
our dragon
determination.
horse.
No, it's not going to attack the horse.
Okay, they're not going to attack the
No,
horses.
just
Okay,
humans.
that just
And actually, it won't attack his mount either.
okay. That's what I was
Did
getting.
you
at.
say just humans?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not
Actually, I
human,
do
what?
need to know who is human. Actually, not human, right?
Human.
Human,
Not human.
not human. All right. Okay.
Still hill dwarf.
All right.
master
So
race.
yeah.
I thought Mountain Dwarf was the master.
Mountain dwarf.
I'm a hill dwarf, so obviously that's not
You're
true.
related to the master race. You're all right.
All right.
Yeah,
all
I
right.
choose to make it harder living.
The master race likes me.
All right. So and so everybody took their 14, right? All right, and
I'm gonna take 14 as well.
yeah, everybody take 14. And now I will tell you right now, just because you see them and you've already seen this, right? So you already know any strike against any of the birds immediately kills them. They only have like one hit point, but there's 81 of them. That's the problem. All right. So okay, and that was on their action.
Oh,
and
wait a second. Their attacks are not magical, right?
Their attacks are not magical.
Okay. My what's it called?
They are trained though.
I have heavy armor master. It's DR3 against non-magical attacks.
Ooh.
Can they actually hurt me?
DR3, yeah, we'll
If they
take 3
roll a
away.
4.
They did 14 points. That's gonna.
But it would be from an
Yeah, I
individual
understand what
source,
you're saying. Yeah,
so
you'll take your 14. You'll take off every time they strike you.
All right, so I take
Yeah,
11.
but not every one. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And so.
It's like the swarm
Oh,
attacks.
and yeah, everybody took their damage, right? And that's their action. And you guys are up. And next is. Lunth or Arbrum. Your choice.
Who's Lou? Oh. Fuck. I don't know if I want to be in the same place as this guy.
Because he started lobbing
You don't.
fireballs into the.
You don't.
So,
Listen, psycho.
let's see. I'm going to put on my telekinetic shield. Yeah, it's like rage, but I get armor class
okay.
bonus and resistance to damage.
All right.
So that'll up my. And that'll be good.
All right. And you guys are bunched up, so you're
Oh,
only
I
gonna...
give inspiration to.
I already have it.
I'm not sure if this matters to any of you,
it's
but the
bardic
fact that you're
inspiration.
bunched up protected
Oh.
you from one of those 8 attacks. So you guys, if
Are
you guys
you-
stay
are you
close,
lower?
you'll
Or
actually
combat?
have to take less
I'm
attacks.
both. I'm combat, so I get
Wait, so what does that
AC
do?
or
then?
damage. You can add a d6 to your AC damage or attack roll
My
or
choice?
save. Yeah.
All right. And that's your action,
So-
correct?
That's my bonus action. So telekinetic shield, bonus action, bardic inspiration.
I got it.
All right. All right. And
And that's at my whim, right?
I'm sorry.
And the
Next
next 10
is
So
next is Luke.
Okay, got it.
I am going to summon. I'm going to summon a friggin' flock of hawks. That's what I'm going to do.
all right.
Freaking crazy.
He is laughing.
It's psychotic.
Right, you
like
keep
God
reading.
threw it.
Tell me when you're ready. And Alistair, what do you
okay,
got?
so-
Oh, you're good. He's good.
So I'm going to summon 24 hawks, I believe.
Okay, that's good. All right, and you don't have to look them up.
Okay.
Actually, those are hawks, and so they're automatically going to take out one each.
Okay.
And I'll give you a D12 on top.
Okay, cool.
All right, because they're going to take more than one of themselves every round. Good action, by the way. Nice.
One. I rolled a one.
So 25.
25.
Yeah, 25.
So we were at 81, and now we
So
are
I begin
56.
56.
Thank you.
I begin whispering the spidery words of magic, and I throw my cloak out, and they just like all these hawks just start
Nice,
shooting
that's awesome.
from underneath my clothing.
That was really cool. All right. So there's a swirl of birds around, okay? And actually, so there's a ton of these birds, and they're all attacking you, but you also see that they're kind of swirling around her in a special pattern. All right, good luck. And so at that point, that was an Alistrom. What do you got?
Okay. So
Great move. I'm giving inspiration for that. That was really cool.
So I'm
Good
going
job,
to
David.
step up. So this way,
Oh, yeah, okay.
there we go.
All right, go ahead.
You mean hide between me and...
Yes,
me?
absolutely.
So I brandish my great sword, and it ignites in flame. Stare down this this chickie decided to just railroad me.
She did. He busted out a firebolt in the middle of a forest. Well, she didn't start it.
Hey, how was I supposed to know that the birds were connected to her?
Most people don't launch fireballs into the woods.
Look, the other birds were evil. These birds
So,
are must be
16
evil as well.
to hit her.
You have got her.
Then that means the over 25 hits as well.
All right, yeah.
That's a lot of high numbers.
It's a nice change.
10, 20, 30, 42, 52 damage.
Whoa, wow. All right, she's going to...
How bad is she looking?
She's not bloodied.
Should I action surge?
Wait, hold on, 53. Wait, 52? You said
Yes,
52?
52.
I'm doing some math. Okay, got it.
What do you guys think? Should I action surge?
Yeah.
Okay. So we
Wow.
preemptively attack peaceful creatures in the
I'm
woods,
gonna
and the
need
paladin
inspiration
says,
on this.
"Sure."
Alright, so that's so you said a 16 hits, so that one does.
I'm sorry, I misread it. It's 16.
16 birds?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm getting 8 back, correct? Yeah.
As much as it pains me to be honest.
Thank you for your honesty.
Oh, should have brought my.
I know what that's like doing a spell quick. It can be a little challenging.
20, 26. Another 36.
36 damage. Got it. Okay. All right, I'm good. Wait. That's 64. Give me that number one more time.
36.
Got it. Okay. All right. And that was her. That's her. And then, additionally on, and now Belagar.
Did Armor go?
Yeah.
Oh,
he did.
okay. So I am going to.
Oh, your D6 you can use for attack,
I can use it for pretty much
damage.
anything. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much anything.
So I'm.
After you roll it, but not before he says whether you hit.
I could have actually summoned 16 swarms of ravens.
16 swarms.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome. So I'm
Hawks is
taking a
XP
little
0.
bit of objection to the
Counter
fact that we
0.
just attacked these people in the middle of the woods for absolutely no reason.
I did not attack the people. I attacked the creepy
okay,
birds.
guys.
Sorry,
Go
you
ahead.
tried to light the woods on
I'm
fire.
defending myself against
Oh,
someone who
yeah.
clearly is attacking me.
Well, now that I've established that Lung's a psycho, instead of trying to remove her head with my axe, I am actually going to move around, and since she's kind of standing here, right, she hit
Him, yeah.
him, right, so she's going like, boom!
Yep.
I'm going to run through her and try to pin her to the ground and just stop.
So you're gonna make a grapple check. It's an athletics
Yeah.
check.
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
going to hit her with 400 pounds worth of Dragonborn.
Make an athletics check.
Okay,
All right.
so.
You got it.
Oh, okay. Well, this I can do.
Hold on. So, wait. I gotta look it up. Do you know how does it go off of her?
Athletics.
Oh, she does her athletics.
Yeah,
I
they
got
both
you,
do
yeah.
athletics. If he rolls higher, he can
Then
grab
she
her.
can do acrobatics,
Oh yeah, she can choose
She can do
acrobatics.
acrobatics. I'm assuming that's
To dodge.
dex. That makes sense.
basically.
Let me see if she's got it.
He's using your favorite book.
She does not. And so she's going to go straight off of... Well, actually, what's his face gave me a really good conversion. It's pretty good.
Ugh.
I didn't know it was out there. Hold on 1 second. All right, I got it. All right, here's mine.
Who gave you a conversion?
And your race is Dragonborn, correct?
Yes.
That wouldn't matter in this anyway.
So, I rolled 22.
Oh, you easily defeated her. All right, so you slam her down, and so basically you have her down on the ground at this point.
Yeah.
All right.
And I figure I'm 350 pounds. I'm wearing plate mail. I weigh a little over 415 pounds.
Where's your sword?
Where's
no,
my
your
sword?
axe. Where's your axe?
My axe? I dropped it when I ran towards her.
Okay, good to know. All right, and
Because I have other weapons. So.
let me see. Yeah, let me see your sheet.
Yep.
He's gonna start fucking me.
I know.
Where's your magic items?
So I'm wearing one. I dropped one, and what was my third one? My armor, my axe, and my belt. So I'm wearing my belt, my armor, and my axe is my third one. And since my axe I dropped over here in front of, the psycho.
So
Your belt, your
my
axe.
belt, my axe, and my armor.
Oh
Were
yeah,
my
so
three
the only.
magic items. Yep.
Oh,
So technically, right, the way Conjure Animal works is you summon a certain CR. Well, hawks are CR 0, and so are ravens. So can I actually say I just summoned swarms
oh
of
no,
hawks?
no. I'm definitely keeping it, and the reason why is this totally came out of nowhere. You are suffering from exactly what your character is suffering from.
Okay.
Stun.
So-
you didn't expect her to be a straight up,
So-
in white rogue. All right,
I'm on top of her. I have her pinned to the ground, and I'm looking back. It's reaction. Stop! What is this? Why?
Now you're saying that to her.
Oh, no,
Everybody,
I didn't want to
just
take
in
back
general.
the action. I just wanted more birds.
Oh no. I mean, if you can cast it on the next round, you can absolutely do it.
Okay.
But I'm not going to retcon that. All right. So
These are
okay.
big birds, I think.
So there's that.
But it was worth asking. All right. Okay. So at that point, and you were at the bottom of the round, which
I
means we're
was
at the
the bottom
top,
of the
and
round.
it's her. Okay. All right. So, and you are actually.
I might just do
oh
it just
man,
because.
she's gonna get advantage of it. All right. Yeah. Maybe it's gonna get ugly.
Seemed
I
like a
just
good
like the idea of
at the time.
swarm versus swarm.
Swarm versus swarm.
Oh, swarms of ravens. It's like,
Well, a raven and a hawk's the same thing, so I could probably just say it's a swarm of hawks instead.
All right. Yeah. 4 and a 1. All right. She immediately goes for your belt, can't get it, and then she teleports. Gone.
Oh, of course she
You fall
teleported.
right to the.
And so I go boom right to the
hey,
ground.
at least you didn't lose your awesome.
Yeah,
and by
at
the
least
way-
I didn't lose my belt.
And the dwarf is running. He is just running flat out. All right, and as soon as she goes, the birds just disappear. And then at that point, and then we drop out. And does anybody wish to pursue the dwarf? Oh, and by the
I'm
way,
gonna
his
go pick up
tinker
my
cart
axe.
is right there.
I'm gonna go pick up
Oh,
my
his
axe.
cart?
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
sir, good dwarf, your cart!
So you can roll a persuade.
And I yell, Eliath,
I'll set your DC.
secure his cart.
I'm pretty sure I did not persuade him.
Good. Oh yeah, so
We
yeah,
tried
he's
killing
gone.
the
He
woodland
just
creatures.
runs
We
and
might
runs
as
and-
well rob the inhabitants too.
so you guys did get his card out of that.
No Luna's car.
All right.
So since we have it, let's search it. What's in it?
Oh yeah. So actually,
Why don't we have Elliot search the cart? You never know; it might be booby trapped. I'll stand 20 or 30 feet away
Alright.
behind a tree.
So it's a tinkerer's cart. So it has a excellent set of tools, right? So
Was that on our list? Is there any weapons in there?
actually, he does have a dagger that's kind of hidden up under like.
That's
the
all we
trail.
need, right?
Yeah.
That's a weapon.
That's true.
got a dagger.
That's
All
true.
right. How about coins?
All right. Actually, you do have coins. These are memoriams, right? And so you see what memoriams is, and he has 120 memoriams. And in addition to that,
What are they made of?
what's that?
The
The
memoriams?
memoriams. So they have they're in the shape of they have 8 sides on the corners, right? And then they have a circle in the center, and then on both sides there are leaves. There's like a vined leaf all around, and that's what they look up. And they are made of a metal you've never seen, not silver or gold or anything like that.
There's 120 of them.
And they do seem and there's 120 memoriams.
We should all take 20.
Right.
We'll give 20 back to the case.
And
Seems
in
reasonable.
addition to that, he has a potion of animal friendship,
Oh, look.
You could have used that a little while ago.
Yeah.
and
And we can readily identify this stuff.
yeah,
Okay.
and you can tell why he has these things. He's given things to clean, and so you guys know what tinkerers are, and so they fix pots and they sharpen knives.
Tinker stole my pot.
And actually, adventurers use them often because what they'll do is they'll get new magic items and they'll get them cleaned because a lot of times they've been in a horrible dungeon for a long time, and so these items were. It's clear that this guy didn't own these items. They were given to him. And so, in addition to that, he
I
has
don't know if I can actually do
a
that.
ring of evasion,
Ooh.
and he has elven chain in the tinker's card.
I think
Now, it's very clear also that he had some village to go to return these.
I think we should find him. I don't want to take his stuff. You know what? Can I turn him into something fast?
Down.
I need to know what we have. I mean, if we don't find the rightful owners in the next 6 weeks, and we go home.
I just want to take the dagger and the one coin
I have my phone
for
on.
our list.
All right. What's that? Say it one more time.
I just want a coin and a dagger for the list.
Right. So you're just and then you're actually going to keep the tinker's stuff. Now here's the next question: Are you guys going to take all the gear out of the tinker's cart and put it into your cart and then return it when you can, or are you going to take the tinker's cart with you?
Well, I'm trying to find out what's the fastest thing I can turn into to see if I can't run this guy down.
Well, why don't we just put
It's a
the?
great point. Yeah.
Why don't we just take the Tinker's cart?
Riding horse. Yeah, while they're figuring stuff out, riding
And
horse.
we
60
can-
feet around.
All right.
Why don't we
you're
put
gonna- you're
the
gonna chase him
Tinker's
down as
cart
riding horse.
into the tower or the hole so we can return it all to him? Because we can do that.
By the way,
Your hole's coming in.
wait, I'm
handy.
sorry. Repeat that one more time.
The
All
Tinker's,
that stuff is not going to fit in my portable hole.
it'll fit in the tower.
You can't steal the dwarf stuff.
I
But
wasn't
before we
going
do,
to. This guy's talking about doing all that stuff.
I'm saying I want to take it with us, but
I'm
since we
gonna
want to return his
I
cart,
will
too-
lightning bolt
Right.
you.
Yeah, okay. So actually,
Whatever,
he's
bird
running away
killer.
from you as fast as he can. You're fine. You can do all that, right?
You know what? I'm just gonna roll
and
my
you
eyes.
are able. You're easily going to be
Druids.
able to run him down, but you are going to have to make you're going to have to make a roll to find him very hard, right? And you can't just take it as a passive and the reason why is you just came out of combat, so you're startled. So if you can make a very hard perception, you can find him.
right.
Otherwise, you won't be able to
I
find
just
him.
need to check the
Yeah.
horse's senses to see if they're better than my own.
Okay.
So we're discussing how best to rob the door.
I gave him inspiration.
Right. He had magic items, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah, he had elven chain, and he had
Oh,
a ring
oh,
of,
cool, you can
a
do
ring
that?
of-
Down the ground.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
the dwarf.
Oh.
He was a tinkerer.
Elven
so he had a whole
chain,
tinker's
ring of
cart.
evasion,
So you guys
and
did-
Is he
potion
dead?
of animal friend.
He ran. He ran, and he's going to try to run him down, but he's got to find him. And he has several things. And I'm not going to give you disadvantage, but you have several things. The reason why I'm not letting you take your passive is one, you guys cannot combat, and two, he knows the ground better than you do.
Right.
Good luck.
So what happened with the chick? Is she?
Wait.
still-
Let's resolve his first. Hold on.
That's a 25.
25. Oh, and you guys can try to talk. Oh, you got him. Okay. So you run him down,
What's up?
and you transform. You're going to transform him back into.
Yeah, once I find it, I'll
Right,
turn
yeah.
him back
So
into
she
my...
tries to
So
steal
so at this point it becomes
She
like a
rolled a
running
one.
thing where you're
Thank
running with him and you're
God.
hollering, you're saying it's safe. It's
And then
what,
she ran
I'm
away.
assuming you're
So
saying
the
it's
next time
safe.
I
It's
doff
safe.
Yeah, yeah.
armor,
Don't run! Don't run! Your
back
stuff!
on.
I want you to take your stuff. We're not trying to rob you.
Really
I want
would've
to
done
take
that.
his
Actually,
stuff.
so
Like,
one of the
I'll
things
try to
you saw what was in
Go.
there. Did you want to call out one of
I'll
the
be very
items,
explicit about that next time because that ain't happening.
or do you not want to call out one of the items?
Would
you
have
had?
cried.
Well, yeah, I'll just ramble off random
Right, yeah.
things that I
So
saw.
as soon as you say the elven chain, he stops. He's like, "Oh, yes, it's not mine. Oh, I forgot."
I didn't know the birds belonged to the woman. We had encountered birds before that seemed to be directed by some hostile presence, along with these great thunder lizards.
Oh my
They
goodness!
nearly killed us. They were knocking down the trees. They're clearly directed by some greater intelligence.
He says,
I'm a man of the wilds, and I know animals do not act that way.
All right.
and
So
what-
at this point, so at this point, you're able to calm him down. You convince him, and you begin walking back. All right. So you can go into normal conversation with him, and so he's saying, "My goodness," he says, "Are you taking me back to my cart?"
Yes.
And he goes, "Oh." He says, "I was happy to get away with my life. Thank you." He says, "There are 2 magic items in there that I don't own. They were given to me for cleaning." He says, "You are most kind, sir."
Is it possible that I could buy a coin off you and the dagger?
He says, well, first, and he actually stops, and he says, "I am Firestone Merchant Myros. What is your name?"
I am Lumph.
He says, "Excellent, Lunth." He says, "Are you from Maciant?"
I am not. We were sent here to explore the lands, and we landed on the beaches. And when we entered the forest, we were attacked by these great thunder lizards. They started knocking trees down at us. I've never seen wild animals act in such a way.
All right, now at this point, he walks up, and you guys are at the Tinker's, and the Tinker is like, "That is a most amazing story." But the Tinker gets this big smile. He goes, "My cart, he says, it's still here." "Oh," he says, "did you slay that horrible woman?"
Tell us about the woman.
She vanished.
"Oh, by the way, you were so close to losing that belt."
Yes, I know. And from now on, I will be wearing my belt underneath of my armor. Let her see her steal the armor first.
A really good
Rogue might be able to get
He
it.
just ripped his pants off.
Have you ever seen the pickpocket shows where like they
Oh
my
take
God.
away-
Yeah.
take
People's
off the bra and
watches.
stuff?
Yeah. It's nuts,
Some of it's
yeah.
nuts.
All right, so
I took his pants.
I rolled a 1 and a 4.
Yes.
Oh,
Thank the Lord.
okay. She had advantage because you grappled her. That gives advantage to. So anyway, all right. So yeah, and he says that's quite amazing. He says, well, he says, so none of you are from Maciant? You have recently come here?
That is correct.
I give it
We were on a mission of peace.
start. Like, yes.
Yes.
Now, what can you tell us about that woman?
We weren't told it was a
says-
secret mission, were we?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. No. Well, it was secret on Olmir. It's not necessarily secret on
Yeah,
Maciant.
So,
Yeah.
we would know. Did the cat people tell us whether it was secret or not on AC?
Well, actually, you know what? Let me just explain this to you. So, here's what you're doing. Think about what you're going to tell people. Well, we
I'm not gonna
came
tell
from
them
a
about
cat
the
lord
cat people
who's
coming
considering bringing 7,000 slaves to populate your continent.
Oh, so we're bringing.
Yeah.
So,
So you don't have to keep that secret, but
That sounded like a completely secret mission to me.
yeah, exactly.
Well, then again, I guess if you
Oh,
bring an invasion force.
Where did you guys meet when you had the conversation about it?
Oh, in like a dingy back alley after I
Right,
fell off
like
a
50
roof.
feet above in the
On a
middle of the
roof
night.
with
right?
walls around.
Yeah, it's kind of secret.
Okay.
Yeah.
I,
we
wanna
just
know-
told a rumor mill, basically.
I just want to know about the.
I said we're explorers.
So he says,
That's
"Ah,
right.
I see." He says,
Now
Well,
we
in
have-
Spanish.
Now we have to kill the tinker.
he goes, "Oh, so he says," and then he looks around. He goes, "How long have you been here?"
6 months.
Couple
About-
days.
36 hours.
Oh, he says, "That makes sense." He goes, "Oh, well," he says, "well, you have done me kindness, so I'm going to return my kindness." He says, "Just so you're aware," he says, "you are on a pedal path here, but be careful because if you are on the thorn path, you will be quickly set upon by the Grey Riders." Right, which is yeah, and then he explains what the Grey Riders are. Here's what he tells you.
I'm more concerned to know what's a pedal path and what's a thorn path.
I still
Right,
want
he
to know
says,
about
"Oh."
the teleporting.
All right, so actually at that point, he goes, "Is that Triceratops meat?"
The,
It is.
He's-
It's the thunder lizards.
He says, "Would you?" He says, "Could we eat? I'll set a fire."
Excellent.
All right, so he sets a fire. You guys bust out the
All right,
Triceratops
first
meat.
off-
He grills
first
it.
off, are there any dwarven traditions that I know of?
Oh, absolutely. So there are dwarven
So-
traditions.
So
Yeah.
I will, like, my character had done a lot with dwarves.
dwarf.
I was presented the dwarven plate as a gift for service to a clan.
Oh,
so,
you're right. You're right.
So
Okay.
if there are any if there are anything like dwarven greetings or meetings like ceremonies, I would try to insist upon doing something like that here.
So absolutely. So you so one his dwarven clan is
blocking me.
on Atheon, and they have never really dealt with
You didn't do it.
dwarven clans from Olmir, but what he
Keep your dwarven
immediately
pants.
says, as soon as he sits down, he goes, "Was this dwarven crafted?
Absolutely.
So you must be honored among the dwarves of your nation."
Yes, and I'll have the conversation with him
Yeah.
completely in dwarven.
Wow, that's fantastic. And he says, well, and
kinda
then
rude,
so he
don't you
talks
think?
with you, and then he switched back to the commoner. But he actually, so one of the things right out of the gate, you would ask for a coin. He gives each of you a coin based on the goodwill he has for seeing that other dwarves trust you. So he gives each one of you a free memoriam. Okay. All right, and then he sits down and he tells you guys about Asean. He tells you everything that he can about Asean. All right. Yeah, exactly.
right.
Yeah, you guys. All right. So
That's not
what are those-
conspicuous.
good.
Good dwarf. What are these coins made out of?
He says, "Oh, you mean what is the actual metal?"
Yes.
He says, "Oh my." He says, "So
I know
you-
metals, and I don't think I've seen this one before.
He says, "So then you must not have Farrakane where you come from."
I guess not, unless it is a different word for it.
No,
in
he says-
dwarf,
yeah.
dwarven, what would it be?
Well, he says, "Well,
Would
it's,
it-
he says,
it
of
would
course,
be not-
Farrakane is
not something I
extremely
remember.
expensive." He says that's why we use it for our coins. It's as strong as iron. It's about half as, and he says it's as strong as iron, and it's half the weight. But unlike any other metal here, it floats.
Where can I get more?
He says,
And are these coins of any value to you? I show him platinum.
he goes, "Wow, these are fascinating. I have never seen these."
Yes,
He says-
they do not rust or
He says,
take on corrosion. Like
He says,
iron
"Well, I
and
will."
other
He
things.
says, "Well, I have." He says, "I will trade you half of my coins for your coins."
Sure.
All right,
Excellent.
All right, all right. So, so he's going to trade you 60 of the memoriams,
Okay.
and you're going to be down 60 platinum. All right, and he goes, "Whose visage is this?" It's Darwin's, by the way, Queen
Okay.
Darwin. Are you going to tell
That
him?
is a Queen Darwin. Darwin.
Ah, he says, "I've never heard of this person." He says, "She looks to be quite beautiful." And he says, "Do you know of any?" He says, "So does she have a court?"
I'm not completely familiar with her.
Well, yeah, she has a
Mark.
court.
I mean, he knows what he's
her
doing.
court.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
I do not go into politics much.
Ah, he says,
I am a merchant, and I tend to look for different avenues of trade. And this metal seems very fascinating to me.
"Oh, by the way, clearly this metal is super weird. By its own weight, it would sink, and it doesn't. So, like, you could take a sword and throw it right into the water. It does not sink. Very, very strange. All right. And so, but also you don't get a sense that it is magical. So it's very unusual.
Okay.
All right. And it's as strong as iron,
Okay.
and half the weight, and it does float, which is that's all of Farrakane, and they make their coins out of it. So he says, I have heard. He says, so does that mean where that you come from? You have nobles?
Well, what do you mean by
He said,
nobles?
there have been. He says, there was a bard here. He said, I saw a bard here 10 years ago. Of course he was eaten, but and he says, but when he came, he told tales of these areas where some people were considered of better blood than other people,
Well-
like that they could rule based on the worthiness of the blood.
I
within
nudge
them.
him, and then I point to this guy.
Who's a noble? You're a noble.
He's a knight.
So-
He's got the retainers.
So I will say, well, by blood, I am not held any better than others, but I have participated in combat and have earned a title, and I'm the first of House Falumvial.
What is a house?
It is like a family or organization, but it can extend beyond. just a
Well, we
mother
do.
and a
I'm
father.
sorry. We have those here. I have a house. He says, so
It
you
is-
just attach the name of your house to your the name of your family to your house?
Well, I am Elastron of House Philumvial. The first of my house, as I have earned title in combat.
Oh, so do you have 3 stories on your house? No, by the way, your castle is like 6 stories, and it's as big as like a quarter mile. It's
Oh, wow.
massive, right? So you have 3 stories on your house?
Yes, it's pretty nice.
I see. He says, I am starting to see what the bard was saying. He says, well, here there are no nobles, and he says, and we'd heard of large stone settings. He says, of course, the Grey Riders do not allow any city here to grow to more than 1,000, to grow to more than a population of 1,000. And then, of course, the vast majority of cities are 9s. And he says, which means that as soon as their population hits 900, it takes longer to tell you this, but, as soon as they hit 900, they send out 100 people and they disperse them. And they either have to leave the continent or they have to go and start new cities, right? And so no city is ever allowed to be more than 1,000. He says, or of course that.
At that point, I don't really think it's a city.
So you're saying even that wouldn't even count as a city?
No,
you're absolutely right. It's a large village.
So are
yeah.
the Grey Riders? Do they rule from sea to sea?
He says, well, it is a good question. And he says, actually what occurs, of course, is they do the Grey Riders fight amongst themselves constantly for the best wolves. So they are constantly fighting, and there is much bickering, and there's never any loyalty among them farther than their band of 20. And of course they compete and they race all the time, and whoever races gets the largest portion of land, whoever wins their races. But the one thing, when they immediately all band together and all cooperate like no other time, is when there is a culling. And he says any town which has gone over 1,000, of course they'll kill everyone in that town if there's even a night that goes with over 1,000 people.
But how would they know?
What a strange
They
custom.
watch them carefully. He says they count. They watch them carefully. The matriarchs know. Yeah.
But so do these riders? Do they rule the continent from sea to sea?
Everyone is free to do whatever they wish in this land. He says, as long as they do not break that rule. He says they do not.
I'm not certain my question is being properly understood. Do they everywhere on Aesion? Do they check every city all the time?
He says, "Oh, it is an excellent question." So he says, "Well, one, there are He says there are hundreds of Grey Rider. He says hundreds of Grey Rider bands, each with 20 riders, and so they go wherever they wish, right? And usually there is never even a problem with there being 900. He says there's never a problem with any city going over 1,000. And the reason why is all city gates have 9 over them. And the reason why is as soon as they hit 900, they send out a group of 100 people. And most cities do not ever question that. He said, and anyone who wishes is able to go and set up any bit of trade they wish, do whatever they wish, as long as populations never go over 1,000. And most cities are self-regulating, and there's never any problem. And so he says, I go from town to town, and I'm able to do my trade, and I know the petal paths. He says, but if you're not from here, you would easily go into a thorn path. And if you go into a thorn path, Thracion, he says, Aesion itself will kill you with its beasts. And, of course, the Grey Riders are blessed by Aesion, just as the animals are blessed.
How can you tell the difference between the thorn paths and the petal paths?
He says it's an excellent point. The biggest clue is corpses. As soon as you go onto a thorn path, you'll usually see corpses. He says.
Well, we didn't see any
Also,
corpses.
I know it because I know these roads. Also, the Grey Riders know all petal paths and all thorn paths. He says there is rumor that Grey Riders control where petal paths go and where but I do not believe that.
Do you feel that the Grey Riders have any control over beasts beyond the wolves?
"Oh yes, are you kidding?" He said, "The thunder lizards that you spoke of, they would eat from a Grey Rider's hand." He says,
What about
"Not a
birds?
creature within." He says, "Not a creature on Aesion would ever lift a." They can ride where. Actually, I will say this: all thorn paths are pedal path. Every inch of Aesion is a pedal path to the Grey Riders. They protect it. That is why everything is so clean and so pure here. They allow nothing to. They allow nothing to have more preeminence than nature itself.
We're about to fix that.
He says the last culling was 6 months ago. He says women, children. He says there was one of your type here, a dragonborn, killed. He says I can still hear the screams. It was a horrible thing.
I would love to speak to these Grey Riders, if for nothing else than to learn of their reason of why they feel this arbitrary number of 1,000.
Yes, why not 500? Now, why not 5,000? Why not
I-
1,010?
Arbitrary, obsessed,
I do
crazy
not-
things.
I do not believe in the slaughter of
Perhaps you should
innocents
go and light
just
them on fire.
for protocol.
So he says, so where you come from? Are you allowed to have more than 1,000 people in a town?
We have
Absolutely.
grand cities of tens of thousands.
And literally, like his like, he says, so, well, the cullings must be horrible.
There are no.
There are no
colors.
such things.
No cullings. He says, so people can just grow towns as large as they wish.
Yes.
Well, there is certain economical and social benefits to having smaller towns in certain areas and larger ones in others. And that usually determines it.
That is fascinating. He says, so, and he says, and anyone can just go wherever they wish and start a new town or lay claim to any land they
unless
wish.
they belong to somebody, or
Well, they cannot
they're
just claim any
Wait.
land.
if they're indebted to somebody else.
What do you mean by?
If you owe somebody money or you owe somebody a service, maybe you get paid to say serve somebody in some capacity for a year or 10 years or whatever arrangement is worked out.
Were you saying that people own land there?
Absolutely.
there are people that also own
The
land,
nobles,
yes.
the nobles you were talking of, they own the land.
As the Grey Riders divide up the land amongst them based on these races, so do the nobles and people with power and money divide up the land amongst.
Fascinating.
But there is no culling. People are too great of a resource, I think, to get rid of them. While I think these Grey Riders see people as some kind of
Detriment.
abomination.
They see it
That
as a
is
detriment
most
to them.
fascinating. Most interesting. He says, well, I must say, this is, he says, I'm most fortunate to have come across you because I can tell you where the petal paths are and where the thorn paths
That's what I was
are.
getting to. How about a trade? I have some seeds from our homeland here, and I will trade them to you, and you can grow them and disperse them however you wish. But I would like a map of these petal paths, and I have some paper.
Yes, I can help you. All right, so they sit down, and he actually gives you a map of
I get him
Do
a
you, pull,
50
do you
miles.
pull out your whole to pull out?
Yeah, so
can
he
just
gives
reach
you a
in.
map
I've got a close shelf that
Yeah.
has things that I want to pull
Okay.
out without setting up moving shop.
So he gives you a map of about
conveniently
50 miles,
easy.
and you see that about 10 miles away is a town. So there is a town about
you
10
called
miles
me
away
crazy.
from here. And then you also see exactly where, if you go
And
off
launched a
of this
fireball
particular
into
path,
the air.
and actually you
It
can
worked
see that
out
there's going to be
splendidly.
branches,
She almost
and
stole my
actually
belt.
there are absolutely thorn paths that look like regular paths, right? Because they were ridden by the
Riders.
by the riders. Yeah. Now they don't lead paths everywhere they go, but they're most trafficked. So if
So
you had
it
just
was
wandered across the
really-
path, you very
It
well.
was
The
just
only thing
really
we had
random
left
chance
is a
that we
relic.
made the 2 miles into this.
We've got
How
a
long-
coin,
however
we've
long
got a
it took us
dagger,
to
we've
go
got
from the
plants.
shore to here.
No, actually,
Coins
there
or
are
journal.
many
Well, the
towns.
journals
Yeah,
there are
no, no,
towns.
I mean, like-
relic. Yep.
Well,
It was
he's
random
making a
chance
map.
we didn't
Yep.
run into anybody
So what
constitutes a relic?
leaving the shore.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
that's
just thinking
true.
the same
Yeah,
thing.
absolutely.
Okay.
And actually, one of the things was
So he could have been horribly murdered.
well, the biggest reason is, and it's actually a problem, is his perception is ridiculous. He sees almost everything, so it definitely would not have been fair for me to go, "Oh, you're totally ambushed," because he completely sees and hears almost everything. So that's what. So it wasn't pure luck. It was definitely his perception that saved you guys the ability to go right to a pedal path.
Right.
All right. Go ahead.
So first off, I want to, ask about this chicken wife. What does he know about her?
He goes, she was the nicest woman. He says, but, oh, by the way, sorry. She was an ASMR, by the way. So she was an ASMR rogue. All right. Yeah. So she was an ASMR rogue. Yeah, pure white. And she was stunningly gorgeous. You won't forget her for a while. And
I definitely won't, because I'll actually draw a picture of her.
yeah. And so, and then at that point, so that was, and he totally did not know her. And actually, and now he explains what firestones are. So one of the things they do here is they absolutely minimally cut down trees. They do allow trees to be cut down, but actually,
Hey, we didn't cut down any of those trees.
Yeah, and so they use these firestones, and these firestones are stones that are here, and actually, basically, as long as you know how to use them, if you tap on them in a particular way, they get very, very hot, and so they trade them, and they come from different areas. And so she was actually trading them, and it was a real firestone. He thought he was doing a real trade, and actually, that trade probably would have went. Well, actually, no. Okay, yeah. Well, you saw what she was. 9 chances out of you could tell. 9 chances out of 10 that he probably would have got a firestone, and she would have walked away with 120 memoriams and probably both magic items from his tinker's cart before she was done. So you absolutely did save him from being robbed. That's very clear, because she would have been able to rob him so easily.
Never trust an Azamar.
Yeah. And so, so you guys talk. Did you have any other questions for him before?
For him,
Firestones considered relics?
the question is, what constitutes a relic?
A relic? Oh no, that's not a relic.
No, yeah, but we need to know what we're actually looking for in regards to relic. Are we looking for, some item of age, or some item of value, or some item of magical potential from this land?
He means a magic item. Okay. Yeah, absolutely a magic item, and actually, to tell the truth, probably rare or very rare. That's a relic. Yeah, and fully relic would really be a legendary. So he's actually asking if you can get it. Now you don't have to stay that long to get that, but but if you found a legendary, he would claim it. Understand what I'm saying? As the relic.
Right.
So is there any there to acquire or trade or earn an item that is imbued with the magic of this land?
Ooh, he says, well, there are not many of them, and most of them are highly protected and valued, but you could absolutely trade, or, he says, I will tell you this, 60 memoriams is not going to buy a relic, and you could throw a bathtub worth of these at them, and that's not going to help. I don't know what the heck this is. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I says, I do value these. They're quite interesting. Right, yeah. But you're not going to buy a relic with them, right?
Do you know how many mines in the area of this particular metal?
Oh, he says, you're talking about digging from the ground, aren't you?
I am horrified that he had to ask for clarification, being a dwarf. I am trying to stop my quivering.
No. He says, of course not. We wait until a river exposes a vein, and then you pull it out with your hands. There's no mining on Asia. He says, the Grey Riders would murder everyone if you dug a hole 10 foot deep on this land.
When was the last time?
I do not say it. It was more like excavation through explosion.
And also, you're like, wait. So you can tell the dwarves here are really different.
I had to turn away.
So you don't live in the stone.
Yes. That does sound pleasant.
It is very pleasant. I'm still turning away from him.
I thought dwarves encase themselves in armor so that they're even more clustered to remind them of their home in the rock.
He says
that is not the way you live.
Of course, he looked at the dwarf, and I don't have armor on.
He says, I only have 60 memoriam to my name.
Well, I have half plate.
But I will give you every one of them if you will take me where you go when you leave. So you're saying that there are dwarves who live under the ground because they've dug holes in the ground?
Yes, absolutely.
He says, so... And that is fascinating.
So I've got a little iron bar. I show him. This is from rocks that have metal in them and minerals, similar to your floating
Farrakhan.
Farrakhan.
He says, but in order to do that, you would have to use like a bellowing device. And you can almost see like almost as though he's remembering he's a dwarf. You know, you can see like all the gears clicking. And he's
Yes,
like,
foundry and forge work. Yes, you can take these rocks and melt out this substance, this iron. There is great mines of the dwarves where we are from.
He says, please take me with you when you go. Now the only thing I warn you is, guys, is squishy people around you almost always die. So it's highly unlikely he'll live to get there.
Like Liam the Disintegrated.
Yeah.
Well, how about this? You let me know where you're going, and we will try to get a message to you when we leave.
He says, that is most generous. Thank you. He says, one of the things we do here is we send messages by birds. And so, and then at that point,
I look around and all the bird carcasses.
At the crisp carcasses littering the forest floor.
so he gives you a small finch, so you'll be able to send that finch. Right, so you just put the finch right on your cart, and when you're ready, you can send that to him, and he'll actually come to where you are. So that's a good. That's good. Okay.
Can you
all right.
Where can I get these trained birds?
He goes, he says, at any village.
Excellent.
Yes.
Solved my problem.
All right. And he says, and of course, the closest village is Martis East.
He said 10 miles away, right?
Yeah.
So what was his name?
His name is Firestone Merchant Myros.
Before we move on, I want to ask him, why do you live under the oppression of the Grey Riders? Like, do you
He says, I will admit, their idea about 1,000 is... I can understand where someone would think that's unreasonable, but he says, we want for very little here. Why would you call that oppression?
They kill...
They just killed 1,000 people a few months ago.
Yes, he
Makes
says,
no
but the only
sense.
time that ever happens is when there are revolutionaries. People who say, literally revolt against the idea.
So
By committing the crime of
I understand that
reproducing?
this would not happen by chance. Everybody would know whether or not there's going to be 1,000
Yeah,
people.
so he makes that super clear. There are no surprise cullings. Like, that's why every town... And here's the other thing. Towns know you go over 1,000 people, there's going to be a culling, right? So they literally make sure it never happens. And when they do it out. They kind of do it out loud. It never happens by accident, ever.
To me, that's crazier than launching fireballs into the sky to kill all the birds.
All right. So, any other questions for him?
Yes, yeah, I have questions for him. You were saying, is this kind of like a bog mineral? Does it deposit itself anywhere?
Oh, he says you can find it in any. You can swim down into the muck of any river, and if you were to, he says, if you were to go to the river over there, and you were to send 100 men down, and they were to work for a month, you would have enough of this to make a dagger.
Oh, 100 men for a month?
He says, I've seen 3 swords in my life made of it. They're incredibly valuable.
Now imagine if you were free to dig in the earth.
So my fantasy about a metal ship is going to be a hard sell.
Unless you change the entire culture here.
I've got a plan.
Perhaps you can
This is an involved pile of Grey Rider bodies.
One of the plans ends up like that, yes. All right. If we have time in between, like, the crazy nutsy stuff, like if we get to a village, I have something to do.
All right, okay.
Is there a river that goes by that village?
Is there a river that goes by the village?
That we're going to go to.
No, it's on the other side.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'd be really interested in knowing the waterways. Is the waterways patrolled by these Grey Riders?
He says, I could draw in the rivers, but it would take a while. He says, we'd have to camp here, and it is getting late. You guys either need to go or you need to make camp here, because you do not want to travel at night.
I prefer to stay indoors.
Well, that can be arranged.
So actually, if you guys move right now, you can get to the 10 miles.
Well, I think we should have this guy draw us our maps. He's been
You
very
want to take the
cooperative.
night?
Yeah, either that or do you want to travel with us to town? That roguely woman could come back.
He says, actually, I can almost guarantee. He says, you are a most kind group here. He says, and I would really enjoy spending more time with you.
Do you not feel safe?
No, he says, I will continue.
Boom! I put up the tower.
Outstanding. I'm going to bed.
He says, my issue is, he says, I can't see that you guys will live for even 3 minutes once the Grey Riders find you. Because the things you say will incite them immediately. And he says, and even though, he says,
Which is why
even
we
your
won't be
armor,
saying anything
if they
to
were
them,
to understand how,
right,
I
my
understand
friend?
how your armor was made
Why are you
now.
looking at me like
If
that?
they understand that, I
Oh,
really don't think they're
well.
going to, he says,
Let them
I
come.
will have to explain it to them with magic.
oh yes, he says, I need to go that way.
Well,
We're
what's
like a
He
walking
says, however,
heresy.
he says,
really.
however, you saved my entire. He says, I would be much in debt. I will stay this evening and make these river maps for you if you wish.
Great.
Excellent.
All right, so you guys are going to stay the evening.
Yep.
All right. The one opportunity that gives is so you guys have the ability to answer any other questions he has with him. You stay the evening with him, and that evening you take first watch, and Lady Kajel comes and she actually she sits down. You kind of actually just walks out of the forest completely black, and she's like, and she sits down to you and she says, "How was your day?"
Very interesting. And
You tell her, you tell her.
need to make
I go
something
into
to
the
represent
stories
power.
and the differences between, and all the little nuances, and I describe the scenes of battle.
A dice tower would work.
Well,
actually
and the
too big.
strangeness of this.
I mean, it's got to be
magic,
like, you know,
woman with
not
birds
tall, but I mean, it's
and-
only.
Because you got to be able to squish a miniature with it, because that's pretty much what happens.
Before she got
We should
there,
drop
I
the
was
tower
thinking
from
about
Saratoga.
making
We
her
didn't have, we wouldn't have had it with the pocket, but
Okay, what did you want to make her?
Right,
Maybe a
okay. So you know how black
It's
absorbs
20 by 20 and
radiance?
30 foot
Yes.
tall.
no. The actual like box that you're
carbon
holding.
is
Oh,
one
it's
of
just
the
in a
best
pouch on my side.
absorbers
You had it with you,
of
so you could've dropped
has
one
the
Triceratops.
greatest absorption
It was
rate
like
of that.
10
So I actually wanted to
10d10,
make
yeah.
10d10.
carbon
The
fibrous
problem is, you know,
cloak
like, it's
and outfit
like its main
that she
purpose,
could
in my
like put
opinion,
so that she could
is
just like
the,
have like
hey,
whatever
we've
kind
got
of
a place
small
to
isolates she
safely
wanted or
rest.
whatever. So like
but you know, like
a full like
you're going to use it as
really
an attack.
10,000
top.
pounds of crushing damage is a
Like,
very valid form
covering
of,
like
destroying
you know like
things.
sometimes like
problem
holy
is
women or
if you put
something
it
will
up
like
and
have
something
like be
decides
almost
to
completely
attack
Yeah,
covered.
absolutely.
Well, this
yeah.
is
Wish
like
spell
got
to fix
glove.
it.
Hidden
I think they
gloves
should be
that
carried
you
in a
put
pouch
on.
like sling
And it would be
balls.
out of like several layers of this black.
You get a tower,
fibrous
you get a tower, you get a
So
tower, you get a
ideally,
tower.
no light should get through.
Everyone gets a tower.
Well,
And I can make that because
You saw where
I've
I
got
was
the
going.
magic.
I knew where you were
Wow.
going.
So
So
that
that's what I'd
one,
like to make.
you get inspiration if you had already used yours. Sorry
gotta
if you
burn
do-
this
Yeah, I
inspiration.
know you've got to use it, right? So definitely use it because I give it out, right? So understand that economy. So that is fantastic. She is extremely thankful, and one of the things she says is one of the things you notice is she has been really pale all the time, right, and very wan, and even like she's almost sickly, right? She is flush, right? She looks almost like a beautiful human woman, right? And you never like,
Pinkish.
yeah, like she is clearly
She did her own little mini calling.
right. Yeah, exactly. And so she says, you and your group don't understand what ASEAN is, do you?
I think we are sadly ill-informed, and we've just been informed more tonight,
Yeah.
but not
She says,
enough.
for me, she says, while this is an alien place, for me, I can use much less discretion in feeding here. There are many people who have blood on their hands that I do not need to worry about when I feed here. So she explains that she came to ASEAN because she could feed freely here. Yeah. All right. So she thanks you very much, and then she says, let's get a few days under our belt here and understand this place. And then she says, and as soon as we do that, let's test this with a cave. So I will come out in the day, but we need to have a cave close, so that if it fails, you can get me back into the cave quickly.
Yes, I think a cave is going to be hard to do.
Really?
I could make a cave right now if you wished it, but it seems that there has this weird prohibition against
Everything.
Yeah. Oh, she says, well, there are natural caves. We would have to
digging
find a
in the
natural.
ground.
Yeah. There are natural caves, by the way. So she says,
Yeah.
you'll find
I'm
the
sure
natural-
you found
Also,
it.
this mighty tower over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she says, yes. She says, you are definitely going to have your
could always
hands
make an
full with the
umbrella.
Grey Riders.
Well, I've also procured us some maps to tell us where safe routes are and the next village, which I guess since you can move about in the air,
Yes.
then you might have even seen it from here.
All right. So she says, yes. She says, I definitely am starting to find my way around. And she says, so it was, and actually she thanks you again. And it seems like she's going to make her way because she one of the things is she is here and she wishes to live freely, but she kind of, you could get a sense that she agrees with like the dwarf that you guys are in for a world of hurt as soon as you come across any of the Grey Riders, and she doesn't want to particularly be in front of that. Now you could tell that she's a little troubled because she doesn't want to leave you to that, but she also kind of feels like she'd be fighting. Like that's why you're here. She doesn't really feel like she's able to stop. She can't protect you all the time. Yeah. Right. So now the next thing is. So one, you get a very reassuring. So you feel much better, you're reassured that she's okay.
Yeah.
And you understand why she's here now, and also she says, I will return tomorrow evening. And she says, as long as you guys don't travel 30 miles away, I should be able to find you.
Well, at this rate, I don't think we're going to be traveling much further, and we're heading towards this village in particular. And I show her the map.
She says, is there anything you need?
I get out the little coin of metal. If you find any of these, not necessarily in this form, but they say it floats in the water, so I'm assuming that it must collect in rivers someplace.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you find any of this,
she pulls out 20 and she just drops it. She goes, "There's corpses all over." And
that's right.
And they all have coins on for it. Yeah. Absolutely. Here you go. So now she's clearly feeding on the thorn paths, and so she'll pick up lots of these on the corpses that are there. And so she gives you the 20. And she goes, and I will give you as many of these as I find.
Thank you, lady.
Yes.
Your boat dream
We don't need any more of those.
Oh,
Are you kidding?
All right.
That's not part of our quest.
No, he's doing it for him. He needs.
I know.
He wants to be able to make stuff out of it.
Yeah.
On a boat.
All right. So at that point, you guys have any other questions? Oh, and he draws all the river maps for you as well.
Good.
Do you guys have any other questions for the dwarf?
I do.
Yes.
So, my friend, you're saying their attire is going to be what really offends the Grey Riders?
Oh, he says, I think the Grey Riders, particularly this plate. He says,
Well, we're both in plate.
I'm in
He
full
says-
plate. Yeah.
So I'm
There's
wearing
nothing
dragon
like-
scale.
He says, dragon scale. What is? He says, oh, someone skimmed one of him.
No,
That is
it's
shit.
as
They
if
make
someone.
such a tough armor from some dragonborn skin.
You've never heard of a
I
dragon?
really want to light you on fire.
He says, dragonborn. I've seen one. He says, there was one of them here.
they are believed to be some kind of distant cousins or
I have
relations.
an ancestor who was a
He says, are they larger than dragonborn?
Oh, much. They're bigger than your house.
Well, how big is
That
the
sounds
fortress?
quite dangerous.
How tall is the fortress?
75.
Oh.
Okay,
It's bigger. It's bigger than the fortress.
If it was like laying down on a ball, it would be
A
bigger
great
than the
winged
fortress.
lizard.
That can breathe fire, cast magic,
If it looks like me, it can
and
breathe
is more
fire.
more intelligent than any of us. Can live for centuries.
Well, then some of us.
He says, that sounds like it might be a match for a Cargalian.
What's a Cargalian?
And where do we find one? Or stumble
How
across
do we
them?
how do we avoid them? You mean?
Same question.
Well, of course I
They
can't.
probably have a
He says,
relic.
I couldn't explain to you what a Cargalian was. He says, it's forbidden, of course.
Where does one not find them?
He says,
Sometimes I wish
As
I
I said,
the
is-
telepathy.
How about you put them on the map?
he says, I truly need to leave you guys as soon as possible.
Is he inside the tower?
He says, he says, you
that
are
can
the
make his life
kindest,
really difficult.
kindest folk. And he says, but you say you came from a ship recently, and I have heard that there are smugglers who bring goods. You should take the next boat as quickly as possible.
But we need a relic first.
Yeah.
We need to travel for a week.
He says, that is fascinating, but I have never seen dragon scale. And yes, this is what would offend the Grey Riders the most, because it's clearly
Yeah, because this has merely been called from a dragon.
Yeah.
While
Not
we're-
really a big deal.
While we're having this conversation, I kind of plug my ears a little bit, and I go into the portable hole and bring out some of my mead and some nice dwarven stout mugs.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yes.
Silver,
I
of
forgot
course.
the dwarf.
Also
I'm
forged.
just like I'm saying like odes and prayers to the dwarven gods that he knows what this is,
Yeah.
or or I'm just
Here he's
gonna,
not really a dwarf. He's a
Yeah.
bearded gnome.
There's something wrong here.
Those are
So I
those
go,
are silver
yes,
glasses.
I forgot the dwarven greeting of kindness. And so I hand him a mug with the handle towards him. And,
So
and
he
I,
takes
and I
it.
take mine,
And
and I drink.
he drinks. He goes, "This is better than any ale I've ever had."
Well,
Clearly,
it's
the
my special
dwarves
recipe.
here are barely, barely qualify as dwarves. 'cause
They're
they don't
bearded
mind.
gnomes.
Exactly.
Well, that's not as bad as I thought.
They
but
don't
it's
mind.
better
They don't smith, and they apparently don't make ale. Dear Lord.
He says, and so that,
Well, the
so
elves.
you guys, so the last thing you do
That's
is,
about as far as-
oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're fine.
apparently.
Okay. Any other questions? For him
So,
before you
so
go ahead.
if you don't make ale, and you don't mine, and you don't smith,
And you don't live underground.
and you don't live underground, pray tell, what do dwarves do on this rock?
Says, do you not see? I sharpen the knives of everyone here. I make sure that their hedging clips are sharp. If you have any dents,
Oh my God, dwarves are
in
tinker
your,
gnomes.
he says, if you have any dents in any of your
I
coins,
get another
I can
drink.
make them straight again.
And I
So
drink it
that
right
they
there.
are literally.
I just start
tinkers.
laughing.
I just point and
uncontrollably
laugh.
until the point where I'm on the ground holding my sides.
I am just
laughing
pouring and doing this.
hysterically.
Bearded! I keep yelling, bearded gnomes!
Arbram, please.
I can't
Bearded
take.
gnomes!
I cannot take any more of this talk.
All right,
I
well,
stumble down the hallway a
before,
little bit.
What's
Before-
wrong, gnome?
Before Arbram hurts himself, it is time for you to go.
Now, the
I
one
start
thing, now, the
howling.
one thing I
The
will
elves
say,
must live in the ground here!
the one thing I will say is, now your characters would know this. I understand why you guys think the culling is horrible. You have seen the effect of the purity on nature. It is far more. Everything's more pure. There's
Right.
no filth in the streets. They don't know any There's not. Even when you look up in the sky, you can see every star because there haven't been 1,000 fires that have burned. They don't clear cut trees. It does have this distinct benefit where nature is extremely robust.
Absolutely. But
Everybody lives like Indians or you get killed.
as gorgeous as that is, the fact that 1,000 people were killed just because they were all in the same place, that's an abomination to me.
Well, they're all laws.
So the day comes and
no
this
big
tinker
deal.
he is like, I must make my way now. Good fortune to you.
Goodbye, bearded gnome.
Yeah. And so he goes along his way, and
Take some mead for the road, my friend.
thank you so
I
much.
give him a keg of it.
Right.
Oh, dear
And
Lord.
yeah, so he
Wow,
takes it.
generous.
Oh, and you guys now here's the question:
I
are
found
you guys
enough
giving him
kegs.
back his magical items?
Oh, yeah.
That's
What
excellent.
did he have?
The magical
You don't-
items.
Yeah, the
Need
only
to
thing
worry
I tried
about
to
it.
get from him was the dagger. And I offered
Oh,
to pay for it.
he gave you the dagger.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We have the
He gives it
dagger.
to you.
We have the dagger and coins.
Yeah, and the coin. So so you do have the dagger specifically. And what time is it?
It is
About quarter after
20. No, it's 20 of 11.
Okay. All right. We'll go to everybody. Cool to 11.
That's
Yeah, that's
fine.
fine.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right. Good. All right. Okay. So at that point, you guys finish up with Fire Merchant Myros, and you are about to set off your path. Did you have any other actions before you set off on the path?
No, I think we're good.
We're not good yet. Any metal items, I am going to enamel. So I say, all right, I think I have a plan for dealing with this metal issue.
Oh, very smart. You're gonna
So-
hide. It says though it's lacquer.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my armor off and set it down. I'm gonna take some sand and some different colorants
Yeah.
and things, and I'm going to fabricate the sand and the other things like
Yeah.
a
Although it was
gloss,
like porcelain
onto
or
it.
yeah.
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 So I'm gonna glaze all of our armor with it.
Yeah.
What color are you making?
Now, are you going to allow that? Are you going to allow it to make it so that
I think
you're-
this is what we should do to all of your
Can,
things.
can you make it like white?
How about you make it look like armor?
Make it
He's
look
saying
like
he doesn't want to
armor.
hide it. He doesn't want to hide the fact that he's wearing armor. He has no.
Let
no
the Grey
interest.
Riders come.
All right. So, what about this colored metal? And I hold up one of the Merlions or Memorians.
Memorials, yeah.
Okay, I hold up one of those.
Ah.
What color is that anyway?
So it's actually it looks just like cold iron, really.
Oh, okay.
Only it says hints of blue in it.
Okay. What about this coloration?
I don't want the blue.
All right. Well, what about
No.
then? What about a cloak?
No.
It's fashionable cloak. Is it?
I'm
cold
done
here?
with this.
Yeah, he's saying he is like no, and no.
All right. You want white?
I think what he's saying there is between him and the Grey Riders, there will be war.
All right. So white.
White
Right.
is fine.
I
Can
can
you
do
flip
this.
that tile for me? See what's on the other
So I
side.
take
of
some mineral pigments.
that? Yeah, flip that one back over.
I take some mineral pigments. I take some sand, and in the morning before he's going to put on his stuff,
Yeah, thanks. That's
I'll
perfect.
enamel
Thank you.
his stuff
That's
as well.
There you go.
So it'll
That's
look
perfect.
as if
Thank you.
it's like some kind of some
Decoration.
original, like maybe even leather, really. But it would look it would be like very highly stylized leather.
Yeah.
But
So you're gonna
I
hide
could even
it.
put like the like dimpling or whatever type of wrinkles or anything in it that I want for the enamel. So
Okay.
Now, is it able to be undone?
yes,
Sure.
but same
Maybe.
process.
Make it look like dragon scales.
Excellent. What color would you like?
Brass, of course.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to assume things about what you like to wear.
So you disguise their
red
armor.
or black.
Yes,
Okay.
he looks like he's wearing
That's a great idea.
kind of strange white leather.
Gotcha.
It
I
could
just
be,
look
like,
like
red
I'm
or
wearing like
black,
a
you know.
dyed black,
Not of what you
Well,
have
like-
fallen.
My heritage
well,
is
like a
brass.
leather half plate.
Yeah.
So
Whatever
why would you
would be
wear
like
the skin?
like
You
really
probably
dense
like
hide.
wood, like a lacquer.
Why wouldn't
Yeah, so yeah, it probably does look
They're
that has that
red
kind
or
of like
black.
smooth,
as a trophy of what you killed.
embossed wood look to
or
it.
brass to emulate what I am.
I gotcha.
So boom, brass scales
So there we go.
all over it. It looks. In fact, I can match the color to you,
To my skin.
so it just looks like you're
Awesome.
ridiculously buff.
I am ridiculously buff.
Buffer.
He's magically ridiculously buff.
And
Oh, I'm ridiculously buff anyways.
And if you'd like, I can even make a secret compartment that your little belt can fit in while you wear it.
Now we're talking.
All right. Okay, so you disguise. That's a great idea. You disguise their armor.
More
So if
inspiration.
you guys, yeah, yeah.
I spent it jumping
they
off the
definitely
tower
need to fix that.
and without getting hurt.
How about you give
All right.
us inspiration so you can get your inspiration?
So
Do you
at
have
this
one?
point,
use
okay,
mine.
yeah. So you guys head out. Okay, you're traveling through the forest, and actually there are areas where you lose a clear path, but the map is excellent, and you're following the path. And everybody roll perception. All right.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
Do you want to take yours? You
and
can.
take lucky?
You want
Yeah,
to
I'll
take
take
22?
22.
Yeah, all right. You're going to find it then.
Oh wow! I actually
You got a 20?
got a 19.
Ooh, natural 20. So that gives me a
Right.
20.
Naturally, he
Yeah.
gets it.
Everyone
you see
is
him
20
first.
or up.
All right.
Yep.
Well, I have a 19.
So you see this.
122.
There are two. There are actually two female dwarves.
Guess we're gonna try
They're not
Dwarves.
bearded gnomes.
More not dwarves.
All right. So there are two female dwarves, and they are wearing. So now, actually, it's clearly not WYSIWYG. They are wearing hide, right? So their armor is made of hide, and they do. And actually, so they have hide on them, and they both have spears. Okay, and so they are both on horseback. And behind them, so they're both on horses, and then there's they have a cart with them that is pulled by another horse, and in that, and so you see this, easily 200, 300 feet out, right? And they're carrying someone in the cart, bound.
So the path we were on is like a big enough path I could reasonably.
Well, there's no path. You're going right through it's WYSIWYG. It's exactly what you
Okay,
see,
so
and you guys are coming in from this direction.
Okay.
So I'm likely, where I'm going is I'm likely walking then.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are they coming towards us?
They are.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the path is not here.
Yeah, go ahead and put yourself right on the edge if you would. Unless you did not wish to encounter them. Did you wish to go around them?
They got somebody in their cart.
Yeah, they do.
We'll find out what the deal is.
Can we see like is the person like bound and gagged?
He is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wonder why they have somebody bound.
Oh, and
gagged.
actually, I'm sorry, he's bound. He is not gagged.
Not gagged. He's bound.
All right. So you guys are going to go. You're going to go, and they're heading. They're heading the opposite way. You need to go the
I have a
direction they
solution
are.
to this.
All right. So you guys come up. All right.
Universal.
Who is going to encounter them? Who's going to interact with them?
I will walk with the group.
Okay. All right. Did anybody? Actually,
I would do it again. In Dwarven, hail and well met.
all right. So they speak Dwarven, and they
Perhaps you
say
could try Nubic.
they call back to you, and they say we are passing through. Would you step aside so we may take our prisoners through?
What's the prisoner done?
And he says, nothing! And you hear him call out. Actually, he says it in a better voice than that. And he says, well, of course. All right. And she says, and actually when you say Matt, they say, I am Margul, and this is Kotzen. They give their names. Do you guys give your names?
Greetings, Margul and Kotzen. I am Lunth.
He says, well met, Lunth.
And I give him a little bow.
I am Arbor Holdendale.
I am Alastron.
I'm Elgar.
He
I'm
says,
still kind
excellent.
of-
He says,
Are you sure?
yeah, this is just...
Deciding whether I want to be opposite.
says, oh, are you not from Aesiant?
Why would you say that?
He says, because of your hair. He says, it looks as though... He says, actually, no, yeah, that's a good point. Does any of you guys comb your hair?
I don't know that I have hair.
You definitely don't, actually. Says,
You don't have hair.
Yeah, so you're
Mine
human,
is
right?
fantastic
And he
braids.
says, right.
Yeah, I'm on.
It says, because of the, it says, the ridiculous way you wear your hair. No human on ACN would wear their hair such a way.
Well, how do they wear their hair?
The fact that you're asking that means you're not from ACN.
No.
Yeah,
no,
well,
I'm looking at it. Like,
Right.
no, I'm like, how's their
do
hair?
the
Like,
gnomes
is
wear
their
their
hair?
hair?
There are
dwarven
no
looking?
humans here except for the guy in the cart. If
How's
you haven't
his
got a
hair?
good, yeah,
Oh,
that's a
haven't
great.
got a good look. I'm like, well,
Well, he's a wild.
he's already
man,
been
you know.
spotting.
Yeah.
He has strange customs and cultures. He does not venture out much except with his companions here.
That might have been, yeah. So, actually, I'm sorry. Are you guys trying to pretend you're from ACN? I mean,
No,
are you trying-
it's kind of
yeah.
obvious.
We're-
Yeah.
We're
There's a
we're
lot
trying to,
of there's a
we're
lot
trying
of
to
clues.
subvert
Yeah.
that kind of dialogue.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want a persuasion roll, I can.
Oh, so you want
I kind of want to skirt away from that
Yes.
concept as
Yeah,
much
and
as
just
possible.
basically skirt that issue and move on
I'm
to
just
the.
Oh,
okay
yeah,
with
talk
saying
to them.
we're
No
here to
problem.
pillage
Well,
your
actually,
lands
yeah.
and-
You know, we did the
All they care
politician
about is
thing.
walking through. That's fine.
Yeah.
So
They're
you're
like,
able to skirt that.
You're from Asian?
Right.
How about
So
the
they
fine
say,
weather we're having here
please,
today?
may we pass through?
I want to know what the prisoner has done. He.
Oh, sure, certainly.
Doesn't
Well,
seem like any business of ours.
he is a sojourner, not from Aesiant. No reason to imprison him for that. There are plenty of sojourners on Aesiant.
It's not.
He says,
It's not a
But-
crime to be from
no,
elsewhere.
no, certainly not. He is accused of killing Griggs, the son of Skye the Miller, from, he says, from Martis of East, the very village you're going.
So why
Right.
is he be taken out of the village if he's being accused there?
Sir, why did you kill him?
He says, we're going to execute him.
Well, I asked the prisoner. I'm like, why did you kill?
He goes, he says, I didn't kill anyone. Please, he says, please free me. Right? And he says, well, he clearly killed her son. Her son Griggs was found in the forest with a he was killed with a serrated blade. As you can see, this man has a sword with a serrated blade.
I probably have a dagger somewhere with a serrated blade.
You do?
No, not necessarily, but I'm saying I might. Like, it's a serrated blade.
Well,
it's not that big
isn't
a
a
deal.
serrated blade used for cutting objects?
Well, what was the prisoner's name?
A Dartum.
Dartum. Do you have any proof that you didn't do it?
He goes, well, actually, yes. He says, I was at the trial. He says, the person, the son, it was terrible what happened to him. He was killed with a serrated blade, but you could see right under his fingernails. He fought whoever he was fighting, and I have no marks upon me, right? And they go, well, that's easy enough to fake. He says, you can go out and eat some flowers, and that will heal you of whatever wounds he would have had. It is true. He had no marks upon his body, but the blade matches, and
Well, doesn't
we
it-
did investigations of everyone in the village.
That's probably more than enough. That's a 27 medicine. When you eat a good berry, the wound closes, but does it completely close, or does it leave any
Is it
kind
like
of
there
marking
nothing
that'll
was
take
ever
time
there?
to go away? Like, because when a
Actually,
wound
you've had him
closes,
long enough. Yeah.
you know,
Oh, that's a great point. You actually would be able to tell. So you asked them when the murder happened. It was less than 48 hours.
well, no, I mean,
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
just basically use my knowledge and say, well, you know, if he would have eaten those flowers, the wound would have closed, but there still would be the marking of the wound. It's closed, but it still takes time for the body to heal. Were there any such markings as that upon him?
Well, that is a great question, he says, but the investigation's over. Our job is to take this man out into the forest and kill him. And it says, it actually sounds like it is unfortunate that you were not there. Have you done investigations before?
He's an expert investigator.
Do you have investigation?
Does it
I do not.
Okay.
Not
But they
investigation.
don't know that. You can say whatever you want.
I'm quite knowledgeable.
He says, well, to tell the truth,
He did.
he-
He in fact did tell the truth.
Okay, so that was a persuasion roll
oh yeah, you're way
of a
over.
28.
He says, actually, to tell the truth, I will say this. I don't think they did a great job of trying this man. Would you consider doing investigations in the town? We've recently come into quite a bit of memoriams, and it was unfortunate. The Sky was very upset, and
Who I
excellent
speak
point.
to about that?
well, there's nothing to be spoken of. The town has spoken, and we're taking this man out to kill him now.
No, I mean as far as the, you said you're looking for an investigator.
Yes, and to tell the truth, the reason why is I think an investigator would have been able to now that I think about it, yes, Sky the Miller was very upset, and the trial was quite rushed. Well, I see your point. And if we were to allow you to invest, if we were allowed you to check this man now, you would be able to tell whether he had those marks on his body or not. That is most interesting. It is unfortunate. Like I said, we must be along our way.
So once the town declares that he should be executed, he's to be executed.
Well,
That's generally how these things work.
Yeah, she says we work for Sky the Miller. She is she says she is the leader of our town, chosen by all to lead for the next moon.
Out of game, was it her son that was killed?
Yes, they said that her son Griggs was killed. He and Dartum has already been.
Out of game.
Oh, by the way, go ahead.
Out of game, I really don't want to let them just go kill this person. But I also know that you were looking to stop them.
No, do whatever you want.
Near future, so
No,
Isn't
no,
it- isn't
go right
it
ahead.
right? What are your
Fine.
tasks in the town? You work for this Miller.
Yes, we do. Well, actually, of course, we don't work for the Miller. She's been chosen as the leader for this moon.
So you
we
work
do what
for
she
the
tells.
town.
Yes. Well,
And
we
for
don't
the-
work for the town.
for the-
We give our service as good as free people, but we are citizens of that town, and we do our part.
So you have your loyalty lies with,
Whoever is elected for the moon.
and
What?
since that changes, it is more the office rather than the individual.
Most correct, sir.
So wouldn't you say that it is the most important thing for the office to gain the assistance and work of this man here, who's shown as an excellent expert investigator? So perhaps
48
you should
hours
escort
ago,
him.
it would have been most.
Perhaps you
most
should
useful.
escort him to this town. We are not from this direct area, so we don't know these woods as well as you do, obviously, because you came directly from the town.
Go ahead.
You just want to breathe fire on him, don't you?
I know you do. You do. And you want to shoot a fireball?
Only birds,
I'm
man.
not-
Only evil birds.
I can't let you execute a man we may think is innocent, and perhaps we should just take him back to town and talk to the mayor.
Can't let. And at that point, she immediately pulls her spear up.
Oh, not this again.
I was working a logic train, and you're just like, let's go 5,000 miles an hour right off this track.
this is what I was trying to avoid as well.
It's okay. It's okay. Let it roll. Let it roll. Go ahead.
Are you going to use that?
She says, "Do I need to?"
You don't want to do that. Put it away.
No, I think that what you need to do is escort this man to the office of the leader of your town.
I agree that his investigation skills will be most useful next time. We have a task to do, and it seems that your warrior type here is about to do battle. We shall do you thusly, sir. Now, says, prepare yourselves.
I don't even think a dwarf would say that.
And Darnum says,
Shake my
He's
head.
not a dwarf, man.
It's like
They're not dwarves.
if you really want to perish, but is he worth
This
it?
isn't why we came here.
No,
No,
it's
it is
truly
not.
is not.
But they have their
Truly is
customs
not.
and their own justice. How do you know he's innocent?
You haven't inspected him.
What? How can you possibly know?
There is the compromise.
And so,
Let
and at that point,
our
the other one
friends-
slams her spear down. She says, "That's enough." He says, "You appear to be sojourners to me." He has. It is true. It is clear. He is itching for his blade. We have a task to do. He says, "Part now, or draw your blades."
Can we just kill them and get it over with?
That is an excellent idea. Sparky words of magic, wasps come flying from my hand, and strike the prisoner in his face.
Strike the prisoner.
Yes.
Interesting.
I just finished the execution for them.
You're gonna kill him?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Are these wasps like those wasps that have sleeping venom poison?
All right.
No,
All right. Let's do it. All right.
Oh no, you're actually shooting magic missiles?
Jesus Christ, this is gonna end
All
very
right.
poorly.
Go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Well, he won't instantaneously die.
Well,
If he's a commoner and has 4 hit points.
no. He's not a commoner. Are you kidding? You guys haven't really got a. You guys haven't. He's
That's
a
right.
sojourner
Only,
like you.
only our guys have 4 hit points. it's the bad
He's
guy's
a
mountain. He
sojourner.
has
He's
200
not. He's
hit
not.
points.
He's not here from here.
Yeah, he's
And
a
actually-
sojourner. He's actually made it to a town. He's got to be like on his way to being an epic level hero.
Good luck.
In fact,
Good
the
luck to you.
the fact that he let himself get captured and put in a wagon is just that's just beat.
I really need to be able to pray and get answers.
I really need to be able to knock out party members
You
and
feel like-
have the foresight to do it before they do anything.
That is
Sadly, I do not possess those powers. Those
33 points of
godly
damage.
powers. I wish I
You
had.
bloodied him. All right. So here's what happens.
Oh my god.
All right. 33.
I'm just.
as I
I'm just
do that,
looking.
well, let the justice be done and be swift.
I'm just looking at Lilith like, what is wrong with you?
You were about
He's
to
a criminal,
you were about to
clearly.
throw down with these people.
How is he?
I was not
more
going to throw.
clearly a criminal than not a criminal?
I was not going to throw.
Because they've already
We're
judged
gonna
him.
finish the
So here's
investigation.
where we're at. Okay. Okay. So here's what's going to happen. These two are 6th level fighters, right? With equipment that's far less than yours. You guys have dealt with threats of them far greater this evening, right?
So can I
You have not
rush
killed
in?
him. Everybody goes into initiative, but here's the thing: we're not even going to run it out. They will fight to their deaths because you have completely avoided it. Now he's going to hop up and he's going to run, right? So the question is, and they're going to come right for you. You guys can easily kill them. Are you going to So the question is, are you going to take their lives, or how many points are you willing to allow to give? Are you willing to give them in order to avoid killing them and trying to take them alive? Will you let them take half your life in order to try? Because they're going to go for you full on.
Oh,
What, him?
if they're going to attack me, it's not.
So the question is, if you
it's
guys
not
are more,
ending well
if
for
any of
them.
you are more than willing to kill them outright, you can do it. That's not a problem. You're going to lose probably 20 or 30 hit points max, which you'll, and you're right. Based on our time, this is simply
if they're going
I
to
can't
attack
take
me,
part.
if they're going to attack,
So you're going
me,
to. Okay.
I'm like this entire thing. Everything
Is
about
wrong.
it
Is
is
wrong.
is wrong.
Yep.
It does not. It matters. It doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah.
It's a poor course of action.
Yeah. It's
So
bad.
I will choose to not
Not take part.
not draw blood and have my inaction, stain my conscience.
Do you go into combat?
I had no intentions of fighting them. I had every intention of taking him back to the mayor. But if they're going to attack me,
The mayor that just sent him out to be executed?
they're going to die.
So yeah. So
If
you're going to
they
go into.
attack
I'm gonna
me,
finish the
They
execution.
will die.
Oh, so you're going to. So he starts to run. You're going to try to kill him even as he runs. All right. So that's your next action. And what is your intention?
I was hoping he didn't have so many hit points. Could have ended this quickly and moved on.
Well, I mean, if you're going to release another magic missile, you can take it out.
Well, the problem is he's right next to a ruined tower, but we'll get there. Go ahead.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what to do.
Oh,
for
a tower.
Bart.
Maybe it has a relic inside.
I really didn't want to kill them. Oh well, their fault.
Are they charging him?
Yeah, are they charging me? Are they really
We'll
that
get
dumb?
there. Hold on.
What is Bart standing on? This
What-
is really important. Is it like rock? Is it just dirt, soil?
What is Bar.
Yeah, what's Bart standing on?
What's Belagar?
Oh
standing
yeah,
on?
what is Belagar standing on?
Yeah.
Where is
dirt,
he?
is a
Is he
rock.
right here?
Yep, that's me.
He's standing on grass.
Okay, just grass. All right. Just curious.
I'm not moving.
Do you know what your intention is?
I wanted to get in front of them and have my telekinetic shield up,
All right.
so that it looks like I'm menacing them. And
So
I'm
here's what happens.
they don't seem like they could hurt me enough.
Everybody goes into their action. The problem is he's going to have in his action he's close enough to get into here, right?
Okay.
Which means you're not going to have your action until next turn. And here's what happens. All right. So you go into combat, and were you intending to stop
I want
that
to get
combat?
in front of him and kind of hold him back, but I'm doing my telekinetic shield.
I'm not picking the fight.
I'm just pushing him back.
standing my ground.
I'm just like, get out of the way. This is dwarf business.
I'll allow you to roll your persuasion.
Okay.
All right.
I actually have that.
Yeah, I'm standing my ground. Let's be very
Alright,
clear
that's
about
not,
this.
That's really pathetic. It's only a 11.
All right.
So I put my telekinetic shield up. I'm not touching him. I'm just getting in the way.
I'm just
I got
standing
you.
there going, ugh.
So,
All right.
I mean, I don't even think these people can hurt me.
You got an
now.
11 for your persuasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. All right. You guys go into combat. You cut down one of them easily, and you knock.
So they got past him?
So you guys go into combat. Essentially, you're right. We're not going round by round.
Okay, fine.
You easily are able to cut one of them down, and you knock the other one out.
Oh, okay, good.
So it only takes one life. He runs right into here, okay, and you can hear him scrambling around in there, and then you hear the sound that you recently heard before. The same teleport you've heard before when the rogue disappeared before. You go in, you search the tower, neither of them are there.
See, clearly, he's a murderer.
Yeah. All right. And that is...
So, is the other person dead?
She cut down one of them.
Okay. Well,
And
like,
then
cut
one
down,
of-
like, dead, or cut down,
Dead,
like,
dead.
knocked him on the ground?
Dead.
And then
There was, like, no
One
point
of
in
them committed
disguising the armor.
suicide on my axe.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, he only does so much damage, so...
And he's able to knock one of them out. And because I was
Right, is he-
asking his intent, but go
Right,
ahead.
Is the other guy like dead, or can I heal him?
Oh, I see. No, you're absolutely right. He's down, and so he has saving throws. You're exactly right. Do you want to try to stay? Well, actually,
I'll just heal him.
yeah, you're absolutely right. You're bringing, yeah. So he would be going into ceiling throws, and you're able to bring them out. They're both captured now,
That's what
but their prisoner is non-captured. And then at that point, that is a wrap for the evening. The only problem we ran into, of course, and this is going to be different, is so you only get one level, because when we come back up, it's going to be the next, you're only
Next
1
round.
minute. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to be right where we were before. So you get one level for tonight's session, and that is a wrap on the evening, and that's it. We're good.
Cool. Thanks for running
Alright.
for us, Scott.
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. Thank you guys very
Yeah,
much.
so
So that wraps
Absolutely.
everything up.
Yeah.
So I guess everybody out there, until next time,
Stay
nerdy.
Nerdy.